back.
Alrighty, friends. It is Tuesday, June 9th, 5 p.m. Welcome to the Town of Madison Board of Selectmen meeting. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Jake, fire us off.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job, people. I'm so good. I've only been reciting that since I was
Alright,
five.
did you,
I'm just about there. Just
Okay.
give me 2 seconds.
passing along a stack of succinct non-public minutes for each of us to review. And then we had the 2 rounds of public minutes.
And then I need all of you to respond on which ones are missing. Madison put a very lovely Excel sheet together,
Yes, she did.
and we just need to know which ones are not there so that we can get them done for next meeting.
Yes. Oh, do you want to add action items to the end of minutes?
Because I'm not, I mean, I'll.
Hold us accountable?
Sure.
And then an action item is that we all have to respond to you on that particular.
Sure, but that's a motion you have to make.
To add an action item. Okay.
No, just to
Force us to respond.
just respond.
All right. I make a motion that we all need to respond to that. Should we wait till they're done reading?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at my minutes.
So then all of those would be checked off in the minute, in that spreadsheet that we have.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Town clerk's office also keeps track of minutes.
Yes,
They
we
don't
give them
have-
to
Yeah.
him. We're done.
Yes.
Because it goes in the vault.
Yep, because we get a monthly email, I think, from Becky with the list of minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
You get that, right?
No, I will.
Oh, yes. You should get that on that distribution list.
Put these in.
Chronological order.
All right, have you had a chance to review them yet?
Yeah, I did. I'm
All
just
right.
putting them in chronological order,
All right.
oldest to latest.
All right, I will accept a motion
12th,
To
15th,
approve.
19th, and 26th.
12th,
non-public.
15th, May 12th, May 15th, May 19th, May 26th.
I'll
All
make that motion.
I will second that motion.
right, motion from Jim, second by Jake. All in favor of the approval of those non-public minutes?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. All right, and then we had 2 sets of public minutes. April 14th.
No, 12.
12th.
12.
Oh, okay, on the top.
It
I guess
says
that's
14.
something to amend on the minutes. It
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
14th at the top.
Okay.
Somewhere's wrong.
So it's the 12th.
Oh, this is 12. That says 14.
Okay.
Is it actually the 12th or
It
is
is
it
the
It was
14th.
actually?
Tuesday.
No, it is the
It
14th.
is the 14th.
Oh, it
it's
is the
wrong
14th.
on the agenda.
Oh, it's the
Sorry.
agenda. Okay.
April 14th.
So we don't have to amend that.
All right.
Can I make a remark on those?
Yes.
So there were some edits about who in the Silver
Dam
Lake
Committee.
Dam Committee was alternate and primary members. And the board had decided at that meeting to let the committee decide amongst themselves who was going to be alternates. So I just added a sentence in those that explained that.
Yeah. It's funny because all of us remember it differently.
Okay.
But you watched it,
I
so
did
you would
review
know.
the video and,
Yeah.
yeah, cause I had it kind of weird in my notes.
Okay.
And cause I had to go back.
And so we just picked the 7 and they get to decide who the alternates were.
Yes.
That
And
makes
then-
sense?
Was there
Makes
one
sense to
name
me.
missing?
I'm looking through, it was Norm
LaPierre?
Saint Pierre. But okay, it looks like Chris Martin, Matt Vavro, Norman St. Pierre. Then we had Charles Allen, Ed Krautman, Curtis Gillis, and Stuart Lord. So there's our 7.
That was everybody?
Yes. There's 2 separate paragraphs, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, and I believe okay. I thought we appointed at least the first 3 as the official members because they were actually in the room and showed up.
I believe we did. We appointed them as committee members.
Then do we contradict ourselves and then say that they choose amongst themselves, or those are
Yeah, I
the
think we
those are the
might have. I
established
can't
quorum?
Well, I'm gonna have to watch the tape, I can't remember.
Do you remember, like, did we appoint those three as the official?
I don't think there was an official, like,
Okay.
these are primary members, it was just
Okay.
they're on the committee.
It's on the committee,
And
okay.
then the
Okay,
committee
all
can
right.
decide. But
Okay.
I don't wanna put words in your mouth either.
No, we're trying to, I'm trying to make sense of it. 'Cause,
Yeah.
we wanna move forward with this.
How do they
So-
meet if they haven't decided who's a member and who's an alternate?
They should all meet.
They should all be what?
They should all go.
Meet once.
Do one.
I know. And then they have to decide
Yeah.
themselves.
Okay.
Because they have enough members
They
to
don't-
make that decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll set something up.
Okay.
All right, I just wanna make sure we have the names correct and everything for the, actual minutes.
All right, so is that all, that piece is all correct? We're
Okay, I
agreeing?
think we're okay now.
The only other thing that I had was, on page 3 of 5, about halfway down,
What one are you on?
the
April?
14th, yep, April 14th. Under Selectmen Nordland, Price requested porta potties for Brookfield as early as Saturday, as there is an event. Nordland stated she would contact United. I just wanted to put out there that United was given as the vendor.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's why United came up. You didn't make them up.
I didn't
They
make
were-
them up, no,
they were
it was
given.
suggested that that was our vendor,
Yep,
and it was not
I know it wasn't.
accurate.
Okay. That was the only, then that was the only change I have. So, anybody else have anything else? Then I will accept a motion to approve the April 14th minutes as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I wrote it down. Okay, thank you. And then minutes of May 26th, neither Jake nor I were present. Did you run the meeting? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So looking at, to your point, all the items that were discussed, but no decisions made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta change that.
Yep.
Yep.
You'll hear about it.
All right, has everyone had a chance?
Yeah.
All right, I'll accept a motion to approve the minutes of May 26th.
All motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll abstain because I wasn't here and didn't play along from home. All right, next item. Approval of the manifest, if I can remember real quick. All right, first we have a revised manifest from May 17th to May 27th. And it was changed for payroll corrections.
I believe there was one regular correction as well.
Okay.
It's Amazon. It was just a type error.
Okay. All right. So, that was revised 6/9 as of today. Payroll is modified to $49,174.37. Payroll liabilities, $3,114.91. Accounts payable, $98,073.34. And Madison School District, an even $200,000. For a total of $350,362.62. I'll accept a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Couple M's in amount. Is that okay for us to sign that?
Yeah, yeah.
This is a very big amount, so there's 2 M's.
Amount.
Amount.
Yes.
Amount. Okay. The next one is the manifest for today. Payroll is $47,245.02. Payroll liabilities, $2,731.78. Accounts payable, $95,331.30. And Madison School District for $53,510 for a total, and 0 cents, for a total of $198,818.10. I will accept a motion to approve the manifest.
I'll motion.
Second?
Well, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Public comment. Good amount of public. Mr. Aruda.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Am I it?
Welcome.
Head this way, I'm heading to the door anyhow. Just an update on the transfer station, which we haven't had in some number of months. Year to date, 2026, we have collected $30,724, as opposed to 2025 of $22,578, a 36% increase.
Excellent, thank you.
Some of that has to do with
Me.
you. Out of that number of 30,724, nearly half of it comes from demolition and bulky waste. The rest of it doesn't amount to a hell of a beans when we look at it. So that tells me one thing, and I'm just going to put a bug in everybody's ear. Come time for budget, we need another 45 cubic yard, because we have 2 of them going out every week, and we've got a half one sitting on the ground, which means Dave has to come back and reload. We should have it loaded. We need 3 of them. Right now we've got 2. So it's something just to keep in mind. The weeks of 3/23 and 3/30, which was a big transition week, there's 2 weeks I can't account for. I turned them in. I turn the money in every Monday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every Monday. And for some reason, it never got put to the spreadsheet. I assume that it's there somewhere, but I don't know where. That is upwards of $2,000 to $3,000. So,
What weeks was it?
weekend ending 3/23/26 and 3/30.
I think with it's in the treasurer's stuff, so that will be dealt with tomorrow.
Okay.
Awesome.
We should be able to
So
get
it's
this.
going to be somewhere around 1,500 to 3,000. That time of year, numbers really dance around. One other thing, as good as we are, we've got people that kind of complain about that we charge them this, we charge them that. Luckily, I have a sheet that I can point at.
You're welcome, John.
Yeah, you can go see the board of selectmen.
Exactly.
But this happens to be a solid waste schedule for the town of Meredith and Center Harbor, which are considerably larger than us, which would make me think that they would get better deals than we do, but apparently they don't. Construction and demolition, they charge out to their customers $240 a ton. We're somewhere around $175 to $200 a ton, depending on the week. Leaves and yard waste, we charge nothing. They charge between $25 and $75 a load. And high needles and leaves, we charge nothing. Just make people aware of this, even though we have a chart there. We don't charge for fluorescent bulbs, they charge 25 cents a foot. Computer monitors, anything electronic other than TVs, they're getting $25 a unit, we're getting 30. I recommend very highly that people want to get rid of computers or anything electronic, don't bring them to me, bring them to Staples. Staples takes them for nothing, and they're glad to have it. So I have yet to have one person come back and say Staples won't take it. So, just a thought. Mattress and box springs is a key item. They charge $20, we charge $30 for a big mattress, $15 for a box spring. So we're about the same. Refrigerators, air conditioners, they get $35, we get $30. So we're right in the ballpark. We're not any higher than anybody else, except for one thing,
$5 on,
decals.
hmm,
Decals.
really?
Yeah, $5 a piece, 35 bucks a piece. And we get zippity doo dah. Just a thought. I'm not recommending it, but if you're looking for 3,000 stickers at $5 a piece, it's money. But
Thank you.
you can do it tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Any questions? No?
Would you be able to share that information,
Can I?
please? Do we have it in writing, just so we have it for reference, because it's helpful stuff?
Actually, Becky upstairs got it for me because she lives down
Oh, okay. Always helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, John.
Appreciate
there. Nice,
it.
Tom. You guys have a great night. Enjoy yourselves. Have fun.
Always.
You're always welcome back, John. All right. Any other public comment?
Nothing
No.
competes with the dark.
All right. All right, closing public comment, discussion of items and new business. The public hearing from last week? No, this
So-
is a different one. This is the Kennett accepting.
Yeah, so last
Donation
week
of land.
was discussed, accepting donation of land, map,
260.
263 lot 2. You need a public hearing 2 meetings in a row, so you'll get another one next meeting. It was posted and it has to be at a regular meeting, and you have to get planning board and the conservation committee to sign off on it, and they did.
Okay.
So here is the deed. So you can take a public hearing on that.
So are these are the Kennett lots, are these the same lots that they offered and then were
Just
sold?
one.
Which
Lake,
one
It's
is
a
it?
tiny triangle.
the Lake Road one? Down by-
All the way by Ospey?
Yeah, that we own pretty much everything around.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the initial decision of the board last year, whenever it came through, was to respectfully decline, because it was a tiny lot that just would require, not maintenance, but it was kind of almost a little bit of a wooded piece, isn't it?
Well, we were under the assumption we had to do soil tests and all that, but apparently that's not quite.
Oh, okay.
Right, yeah,
So
there's,
we can just-
there's,
That was the
there
driving
was,
force.
right,
That
there
was
was,
Excellent.
right,
All
there was like
Right.
zero,
Right.
zero cost to
Yeah.
us to do it.
Okay.
So it's now been clarified that we don't.
Okay.
So it's now just makes sense we own it.
Okay. All right. So this is, we just need to approve the
Public
deed?
hearing.
No, you need
Or-
to take a public hearing for it.
Second.
Okay, and,
2 meetings in a row.
okay,
This is the first one.
okay.
Do we know what the cost is for the new deed?
No.
I would think it would be, is there a tax, something?
They're donating
cheap?
it to you.
I know, but I think there's still some sort of fee, I think.
For no consideration paid. Might be what, kind of a transfer?
Transfer
deed
tax or
transfer. What's it? No,
something?
real estate transfer tax. This transfer is exempt from real estate transfer tax. So no all persons by these present. The Kennett Company, New Hampshire joint venture, have a mailing address, P.O. Box, for no consideration paid, grants to the town of Madison, New Hampshire municipality having a mailing address, P.O. Box, with quit claim covenants the following. Certain tract of parcel of land situated in the town of Madison, county of Carroll, state of New Hampshire, located southerly of Ossipee Lake Road, easterly of the West Branch River, northerly of the Madison Freedom Town line, being a triangular shape, 0.17 acres, more or less referenced as tax map 263, lot 2, in the records of the town of Madison. And then, as noted, transfer is exempt from real estate. Wow, 0.17 acres is still bigger than my lot when I used to live in Florida. Okay, so public hearing number 1. Any public comment on this land? Anybody have any?
As far as fees, there may be a recording fee at the registry. I don't know if towns are exempt from that or not,
Which would get from the
but
real estate
most
transfer?
people are
24 bucks.
Okay.
$24?
You can close the public hearing if there's no comments.
All right, do we need to make a motion to close the public hearing?
Not really.
No? Okay.
But I'll take that back. because you're gonna see it next week.
All right.
Or next-
Those are
2
next
weeks from
meeting.
now.
All right.
Look at you.
All right.
Next item is Robert's Rules of Order Training and Town Hall Report.
All right. So
Over to you.
all to have a pen,
Got one.
because I want you to be able to write your questions on the slide that you're gonna set up. Sorry, Tell me to move over. One. You do whatever. All right. So,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah, I don't want to block you.
Bring my chair. My goodness.
Okay, so, as you all know, I'm Lucia, and I've been your town administrator for what, 2 months now? So I've noticed a lot of things that I'm going to speak to today. One of those things being, and requested by the board, is a training about Robert's Rules of Order. So my experience with Robert's Rules of Order is through the state and through a nonprofit. So I have facilitated several nonprofit worldwide meetings. So that's kind of where my love of it comes from. I'm one of those weird people that actually like Robert's Rules of Order. I think parliamentary rule is very interesting. So you can move to the next slide. Yeah, so Robert's Rules of Order is all about facilitation and parliamentary and voting members. And we're going to go over some uses, the responsibilities, and the rules. Yep. So, Robert's Rules of Order is commonly used in government and nonprofit organizations, like I just mentioned, usually for business meetings like yours, and is widely considered parliamentary law. The current book, which shows the face, is the 12th edition. So Robert's Rules was created by a general in the Army Engineering Services, Henry Robert, in 1876. And then all subsequent editions have been made with the help of the Robert family. So the rules are used to add structure and order to business meetings. The purpose is to encourage debate among voting members and to keep fair order. The chair, president, moderator, facilitator, whatever you want to call it, for here we have a chair, holds the responsibility of running the meeting impartially according to the rules. You can also have a parliamentarian can assist the chair on questions about the rules that may arise. That's just somebody who knows the rules.
Hope we can find someone.
Yeah. So many governments and organizations have additional rules to their meetings, and they typically go by bylaws or the standing rules. They're mentioned in Robert's Rules of Order as standing rules. You guys have one. It's your
Selectmen's
meeting
procedure.
procedures, which you recently updated, and I think that one needs to be updated. Or maybe I did update that one.
Nope, not yet.
So the New Hampshire state government actually uses a different version of similar rules. But these Robert's Rules are the most widely known rules in American government. Also British government.
Actually, since you mentioned that, is Henry Robert British, or was it done
He's
here in the
American.
U.S., or
Yeah.
so it's done for here in the U.S.?
He was
Okay.
in the U.S. Army Engineering. He's a general. Okay, so the first I wanted to talk about is your order of business, how a meeting is run. So you will first do a call to order, usually done by the chair. Here, customary in local government is the Pledge of Allegiance, and then you do a roll call. So a roll call is done to make sure that you have a quorum. So, everybody's here, you have a quorum, you can actually have a meeting that's legal, and you can actually do a vote. But That's pretty standard in order of business. Also, an approval of the agenda is very standard in the order of business. That's something that I'll talk about later. Also, following your agenda is very important. Making sure that you are sticking to the time limits if you have them, and also making sure that, say like when the public is done commenting to you, that they no longer have the ability to comment after those 15 minutes. And that you are actually going through the agenda item by item. And then you should close your meeting, just so that the public knows when your meeting closes. Okay, this is kind of small, but that's why I gave you these. So we're gonna go over motions, aka questions. So Robert's Rules of Order says that motions are considered questions. So how would you make a main motion? You would say that I move that, and then you would make your motion hopefully SMART. SMART being specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So you want to make sure that it's not some very vague, very, oh, well, maybe we'll think about it in 6 months. No, you want it to be time-bound. You want it to be measurable. You want it to be specific, obviously relevant and achievable as well. Those make them SMART and good motions. So all but a few, there are some exceptions, must be seconded. So it's an I second by another voting member before debate can start. So if it is not seconded, there is no debate, there is no motion. The motion dies. And the chair is to reject the motion, but there are a few exceptions, like I said. So once seconded, the chair states the motion on the floor. So you will restate the motion, and that is on the floor. And then the first person given the floor for debate is the person who made the motion. And if they don't want the floor, that's also fine. But that is usually the right given to the motion maker, is that they are the first to be able to debate. And then crosstalk is prohibited in debate because one must obtain the floor from the chair in order to speak. So I'm going to go through a bunch of motions stated in Robert's Rules of Order, and they're going to go by kind of specific sections, and that's based on what Robert's Rules states. So you have main motions. So you can have a main motion, and that's just, I make a motion to, or I move that. And that is going to be debatable, and you need a majority vote. And you then can do adopt agenda, which is debatable also, and needs a 2/3 vote. Amend something previously adopted. So say you want to go in and say, hey, we talked about this at a different meeting, but you want to go in and amend what you decided upon. It is debatable, but it needs a 2/3 vote to pass. So, or a majority with notice. So if you notice beforehand, then you would need a majority. This is also if you want to go in the meeting and change the agenda while in the meeting that you had already previously approved, you would then have to go and get a 2/3 vote to do that. You can declare the chair vacant. Removing the chair is also debatable and needs a majority. This is rare, but it's if the chair is not doing their job, and it does happen in pretty much every organization. But that is a main motion that is stated in Robert's Rules.
From the meeting, or
From their position as the chair.
position? Huh?
From their position
Okay.
as the chair. Which then would be voted on who would be the chair for the rest of the meeting. So you can limit or extend debate for the rest of the meeting, saying this meeting's going too long, I would like to limit or extend debate. You can debate that, and it also needs a 2/3 vote. Nominations are also debatable, but it needs a majority. Rise and report. So this is if you have referred or committed a motion to a committee, then you would motion to the committee to report to you. And that is debatable and a majority, but it's pretty common thing, yes. So, Robert's Rules of Order, motions that bring questions. So, discharge a committee. So you want to reverse committing a motion to a committee and you want it back, you just need a majority. Or no, 2/3, sorry. It's debatable and you need a 2/3. You want to reconsider something that you've already voted on, that's debatable if the original motion is debatable and it needs a majority vote. You can rescind, repeal, annul one of your previous decisions. That's debatable and it needs a 2/3 vote. You can take from the table. So say you tabled something till later in the meeting and you decide you want to discuss it now, you can put it back on the floor. That is debatable and needs a majority. And then...
It says it's undebatable?
Oh yeah, sorry, it's undebatable.
So that just means someone makes the motion, it's seconded, and no conversation is just
Yes,
happens.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so now you go into privileged. All of these are undebatable or they're just a chair acknowledgement. Fix the time in which to adjourn. Say, you say you're gonna adjourn at 7, you're actually gonna adjourn at 8. To fix the time, that's what you would motion for. It's undebatable in a majority. To adjourn, say, we're adjourning this meeting, it's a majority. A recess, the same. Okay, so point of privilege is for the chair to acknowledge, but it is for any member to say, hey, something is happening that is not what it should be. That's a point of privilege. So, I need to say something right now that is going to affect everything. That's a point of privilege, or point of privilege, I need to use the restroom or whatever and leave the meeting. That is just a chair acknowledgement. There's a few of those. Then there's subsidiary ones. But this is while you're in a motion, you can do a secondary motion within that. But that motion has to be seconded before you can do any of these. So that main motion, you're going to be in the motion, in debate, before you can do this. So you can table it. Needs a majority, undebatable. Call the question or the previous question, like we learned about recently, which is to end debate immediately and go straight into a vote. You do have to vote on that at 2/3 pass, and it also is undebatable. You can limit or extend debate, which is undebatable and also a 2/3 vote. You could postpone definitely, which means you have a specific time in which you want to postpone to, and that just needs a majority, also debatable. Commit, we talked about this. Commit or refer is what it's also called, is when you're committing to a committee. That is debatable but needs a majority. You can amend the motion at hand, which is debatable and needs a majority. Or you can postpone indefinitely, which is we never want to hear this ever again. And that's debatable and needs a majority. So then you have incidental as well, which is the division of the assembly, which is I would like to certify what the vote actually happened. So say you guys voted and you got a couple ayes and someone didn't say anything, and so you're like, wait, did everybody vote? Then it's just for the chair to acknowledge, retake the vote, and just make sure that everybody voted. Excused of duty. So if you're not going to be here, you have to leave for whatever reason, As a chair, you can also excuse yourself of duty and say, I don't want to be the chair right now. I can give it to somebody else as long as they accept. That is a majority vote and debatable. Request for information is a acknowledgement by the chair if you have a question. It is only a question. It is not anything else but a question. So don't use it for anything else. That one gets widely abused. Objection to the consideration of a motion. This must be done before debate, and it's undebatable at 2/3. So if like you object to what's actually being talked about, you can object to it, and then it can get voted on that there's an objection and that it's not proper. So it's not in order, essentially. Then there's a point of order. Also, you know, you figure out that something's happening that's maybe not correct, and you want to, you know, have the floor. You would do a point of order. It's also just acknowledged by the chair. You can suspend the rules. So if you don't want to use the rules and you're kind of tired of everybody, you know, point of order this, point of order that, and you're like, you know what, screw the rules, we don't want them. You can suspend the rules for any amount of time, and that takes a 2/3 vote. You can also the motion maker, at least mostly done by the motion maker, can withdraw the motion as well. So say you made a motion, you realize it was stupid, you can withdraw it. That's a majority vote. And then there's some asterisks on here for ones that don't need a second. Usually it's just ones that are acknowledged by the chair. All right. Can you wait until the question section? I do have a question section. Yeah, please write it down. All right. So then we're going to move to actions. I know that was a lot of information for you to take on, so I highly suggest reading this. You guys are welcome to re-watch this video. If you want this slideshow from me, just email me. So actions, each agenda item that you have and should have an action taken. So whether you're going to commit to a committee, table till, or, you know, extend to whatever other meeting, or come back to it, or you don't want to take an action, you're welcome to also do that, table indefinitely. Or you may need to sign something or not sign something. Every action item, every agenda item should have an action attached to it. That is something that I have been finding with your meetings, is that there are no motions for many of your agenda items when there very much should have been. So we're going to work on that. You can go to the next one. So then I have some recommended changes for your agenda format. So what's highlighted is what I would recommend changing. So you do not have an approve the agenda option. You should. So I highly recommend moving that. I also have heard from every department head in this entire town that they would like to be moved to the top.
Great. Yep. Fair enough.
And so they would love to stay for public comment to answer any questions that the public might address during public comment, but they would like to give their department lists after that. And I'm going to be working on getting a combined departments report, so that if anybody cannot come to the meeting, that we have their report still, and you guys get that information, and the public gets that information. And then we're going to move down to selectmen's list. I would love to see a policy implemented that these items get to the agenda before it's posted. I am planning on posting the agenda on the Mondays before the meeting at 10 a.m. So hoping to have them set before 10 a.m. on Monday. Same with myself. I would like to have my own list set up before it gets posted. This will prevent any last minute items that maybe, should be researched or looked into or addressed with a department before maybe it makes the agenda. It's important that we are addressing things as a town hall, potentially before they even get to you, because we want to be able to do our jobs and do it efficiently. Sometimes you don't need to see some of the work behind the scenes. Or, potholes can be addressed immediately rather than at a meeting. And then I did want to add though, because sometimes we do have those very last minute things that come up and, within the last 24 hours something happened and it's super time sensitive. I think we should have an option. I think it should be rarely used. Very rarely used, but just so that you have an option within your agenda. And I think it should also be brought up when you approve the agenda to add that item if it hasn't already been done. So those are my recommendations to changing the agenda format. If you make a change and you adopt this agenda format as a board, you would need a motion to accept. So just heads up, we will work our way into that. So then I want to recommend the policies. Like I had mentioned, I would like to have the agenda posted by 10 a.m. on Mondays, the day before, with the exception of Monday holidays. Obviously that we're not open, so we're not gonna have to post that then. It would probably get done on Tuesday morning. And then, like I also had mentioned, the selectmen and administrators list before 10 a.m. on Monday, just so that everybody, including the select board and myself, have everything set up so that we can be fully prepared for the meetings and that the public knows what you guys are talking about. I think it's very important for the public, if they would like to show up about any of your agenda items, should be able to show up for it. And then, like I said, the time-sensitive last minute. I think there should be a list of criteria or requirements for this to be met as well. So my suggestion is to come up with the requirements of what would qualify as time-sensitive and last minute. But also I would recommend that if your item does not make the agenda, it waits until the next one. All right. Try to go through this relatively fast because it's kind of long. So, what is your responsibilities as a government entity? So your responsibilities are the budget and finances, facilitating stewardship of taxpayer funds. So as a select board, it's your responsibility to make sure that we are stewarding the funds of the town that were voted on at town meeting appropriately, that you are not going over budget in any department because it's illegal. And then when necessary, moving the money between potential items that were allowed by town meeting to move around to make sure that the budget is correct. Also, assessing and tax collecting. That's also your responsibility as a select board, and you sign, those assessing documents to go to our tax collector to accept those taxes. Risk mitigation. So we want to limit liability in lawsuits. That's the whole point of our town, I would say, is to try to limit liability and prevent lawsuits. So that's also part of your job, is to make sure that we're addressing things before it gets to that level. Lawsuits do cost the town a lot of money. Also compliance. You are required to do a yearly audit. That audit happened in May, and it will happen again next May. and then reporting on all of that compliance. So you guys also have a lot of federal grants right now and state grants, and a lot of that is has compliance reporting as a part of it. And so you sign a lot of those documents when you get signature items and such, and you see a lot of the permits and everything come through your desk. Grants. Trying to get as many grants as possible. That saves the taxpayers money. It also helps our town with just the budget and financing overall. And there are some really great ones out there. I am very appreciative of Joe for being our current in-house grant writer.
And the Historical Society thanks you
Yes.
for the one that you sent, including I also sent it to the Little Red Schoolhouse, the corner school committee,
cool.
because
Nice.
they're trying to preserve that.
Yeah,
So-
so there's some really good ones out there. But yeah, getting as many grants as possible is really gonna help save our town a lot of money. Ordinances, that's also a part of what this town does, making sure that we are respecting what the taxpayers and people who live here want, but also probably preventing lawsuits at the same time is something that we gotta keep in mind. Town meeting. So the responsibility that taxpayers are allowed to vote on anybody who lives here, not just taxpayers, are allowed to vote on what they want happening with this town. And that it's your responsibility to present a budget, and that's very important. And then master plans as well. So master plans are done by towns usually every 10 to 15 years. I believe our last one was 2010.
Something like that.
Somewhere around there. It's been.
Were there
02?
modifications in 2010? No. Yeah.
There is one.
Not really.
Well,
One
it's been a
modification.
while.
Yeah.
But master plans are really important because it helps you move your town forward and where you want to go. Also, it helps you connect you with all the planners in the area, especially the regional planning commissions. They're very important with how you want your town laid out and what you want to do moving forward. Definitely helpful when it comes to some of the land use stuff.
We're very grateful to the planning board and the master plan steering committee for
Yep.
all the work they're doing and revising.
Right,
and
right.
everything.
Yep. All right, next one. Okay, so liability coverage. So, like I said, one of your jobs is to limit liability, and how you are going to do that is obviously by having insurance. Our insurance is Primex. You also have a legal counsel, and many of the boards also have legal counsels. It's extremely important to take advice from your legal counsel. Policies. So policies help protect you, us as employees, and the public. So right now there's very limited policies, and I would love to see that expanded. Just because it does help limit our liability. Also, standard operating procedures. There's very limited standard operating procedures, also known as SOPs. And that really does help with onboarding. So say you guys unfortunately don't get elected or do get elected again. When you started, it would probably have been really great if you had standard operating procedures to know what your job was. And so it's really helpful with onboarding and many of the operations that need to happen, not just from your jobs, but my job, everybody else's job who is employed by the town.
It also means people don't feel like they have to wing it.
Yeah, so it creates a standard. It also raises the standard most of the time, which is very helpful. So say we're a little bit below the standard, we can raise the standard by having some operating procedures. There's also requests for proposals or requests for quotes. So what I have found is that this is sometimes done. So as a government entity, it's really important that we are doing this on a very regular basis. It's definitely done at the state level. It's required by law. I'm not sure the legality specifically for municipals, but I'm sure it's very similar. I would like to standardize these and be able to put in scopes and then release. But I think it's really important that we do a lot more of these. We want best price, best value, and we want more people involved to get those opportunities to us.
That was the goal in some of the rewrites in the recent rewrites in the purchasing.
Right. Yeah, so we're moving in the right direction. Contracts. So your contracts are there to prevent risk, right? Like you have a contract with somebody so that you can pay them properly and that you make sure that you're getting what you're paying for. My current view of this is that we should look at every contract that we have or don't have. Maybe there are some that we are missing. I have definitely found that there are some areas that should have contracts that don't. I highly recommend that we look into all of these. I think it's something that you as a board can look into. And then an audit, like I said, you're audited every year. We do really well on our audit, so congratulations. Our finance controls are really good. So we hope to continue that, especially with all the change. But yeah, that's definitely something that's going to help you cover all of your risks. All right, so this is my recommendations. So I would recommend that you have meeting policies and processes. You do have a standing rule of the meeting procedure. I would recommend you expand it, especially to include the agenda policies. I think it's important that you also include something about having special meetings and what qualifies a special meeting, what is the requirements for an emergency special meeting. Because it is very taxing on, I'm sure you guys, myself, Mad TV, everybody else, to have to come on an off day to do these meetings. And so we want to be very specific about what we're doing when we're doing that, and very intentional. Also, I would recommend policies around public comment. I think it's important that the public gets to comment, but comment in the right time. I think it's important to let the public know when the right time to comment is, just so that we're all in the same expectations. Like I said earlier, SOPs, we really need to expand this. But also for you guys, I think it's important for onboarding new board members, but also defining how the board deals with specific issues. I think that's really much easier for you guys. It creates a standard that you guys can keep to. Obviously, there's going to be exceptions to every rule, but it's going to create a lot of ease for you guys because, oh, what did we do last time? Oh, well, this procedure. This is what we followed. That's so much easier. You can also fit in all the RSAs into those procedures, which makes it so much easier for you because then you're not having to look up what we're doing every time. Communication policies and processes. I would like to see some board memos start to come out for action items. Any kind of board emails, or how do you email everybody else, and like what that process looks like. I think it's important that you as a board have a process that you follow when trying to communicate to other town employees or myself or someone from the public that you're trying to work with, or other committees or boards, anything like that. Obviously, a bid policy. Like I said, I would like to see expanded the request for proposals or request for bids. But I think also, like it was mentioned a few meetings ago, having a policy about how you select a bid. What is your criteria? Do you pick for best value, and that is every time you pick for best value? Why you maybe didn't put something out to bid, that also would have a criteria that it would follow. This creates a fair environment. Also, it creates expectations that companies know how to bid with you. It would actually get you probably more bids, which would be great. More competition. Employment policies. I think it's something that's really lacking right now with town hall, and so I would like to see those expanded, especially around interviewing, especially with you guys. When you normally do them, like what time of day, what time of week, how do you contact a potential candidate, all of those, having procedures put in place that any one of you can follow, or any new board member might be able to follow, is very important. Nomination policies. How do you nominate? Who do you nominate? What are your criteria for why you nominated them? We're just trying to limit our risk on asking the question, why did you do that? We want to create an expectation for the public to know this is the criteria I have to meet in order to be nominated for something. And then boards, committees, and commissions policy. Most of you, if not all of you, sit as a representative of the select board on a board, committee, or commission. What happens when you're not there? That board misses you. Well, do you have a backup? Who should that backup be? How do you communicate that you won't be there to your backup? Just having any kind of policy around that would be super helpful in getting everybody on the same page and be able to move in the direction that is a lot more communication. Communication is one of the biggest holes that I found, and we want to change that drastically. All right, so questions. Tia, you had a question.
If a point of order or one of the points made by other board members is not acknowledged by the chair,
Yeah.
is it just shut down, or?
So what do you mean?
So if I'm like, Miss Chair, point of order, and she does not acknowledge it, what happens?
Well, you can always restate your point of order. But it is the chair's right to facilitate the meeting. So there is a possibility you don't get acknowledged by the chair. But most times you do, and if you don't, maybe they didn't hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just a very standard, just yes.
Thank you.
All right. Do you guys have any other questions? Yes.
RFPs, would that apply to legal counsel for each board?
Yeah, so all the RFPs would need to be, have a stamp of approval from, legal counsel.
No, I mean like when we're looking for a lawyer for a board, should they be going to several
Yes.
practices and
Yes.
have them present what they expect the charges are,
Yes.
along with their qualifications and experience?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It would be the same for any contract that you might hold.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I think I have a question.
Sure.
You talk about communications, and I'm very new to this town, 2 weeks.
All right.
Welcome.
Yeah, so I would like to know how I learn about the minutes for this meeting, for instance, are they public?
Yes, they're
So-
online.
And you have published them
Yes.
after the meeting, before they were approved?
No, not before they're approved. So they have to be approved at a meeting. So how minutes work is that we'll get the minutes set up before their next meeting, hopefully. There are some that are still missing. But their next meeting in 2 weeks. And we will give it to them to approve at that meeting. Once they're approved, then hopefully within the next week, they get put on the website.
Is there an RSA though that we have to have draft minutes available within 5 days upon request?
Yes, upon request, so you can
Okay.
request them from us, the draft minutes, but they are draft, they're not approved.
Sean was next.
That was the point that I was gonna make, is the draft minutes have to be available.
Yeah, you can request them though, so it would be through my office.
I have another question.
Yes,
No, you talked about when the public comment should occur in the meeting. I think that would be good to have the public comment at the end of the meeting, so the public has a chance to comment also on what happened in the meeting.
yeah.
We've
you-
discussed both. We've discussed maintaining, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you.
No, no worries.
We've discussed having the standard public minutes at the 15, and then if folks are still around and have questions, then open up another round of public comment at the end, for
That's
exactly as
great.
you mentioned.
That's really good.
What's your name, by the way?
My name is Itzik.
Itzik, welcome Itzik.
My name is Itzik Martin. My wife has been here for 4 years, but I just moved in.
Awesome. Sean,
Lucia, just a couple things, specifically about public comments.
yes.
I attend way too many municipal meetings, and there are some boards, and I sincerely think that this is done for purpose, that they hold all public comment until the end of the meeting. And that's terribly inappropriate, because something may show up on your agenda, this morning, that I need to make a comment on that might reflect how you choose to vote on that. But it's clear that they don't want that to happen. They'll be more than happy to hear your input after the decision's already made, and that's totally inappropriate. I commend this board, as long as I've been coming to Madison Selectmen's meetings, the public comment has always been before you take action, and I commend you on that. Because there's a few municipalities right here in the Mount Washington Valley that do it the other way, and I know they do it for a reason.
And we also tend to be pretty liberal with, even in the middle of a conversation, the public's, commenting and asking questions, which we probably shouldn't be as liberal as we are. We're probably gonna
Yeah,
stop it. But we do that too.
Lucia, just
That's
one
what
other
we're
thing.
going to try to avoid that.
Yeah.
Just one other comment too. When
Yeah.
I was involved with the New Hampshire Department of Safety,
Yes.
so I was chairman of the Building Code Review Board, and they gave me my own email address that was solely through the Department of Safety, and my own cell phone. The reason being is that in the event of a 91A request, like if you make Town of Madison decisions by way of text on your personal cell phone, in a 91A request, that cell phone, everything on
Yeah,
it can
I
be
know.
made available to the
I used to
world.
work for the state, so yes, I'm
So
fully
just
aware.
be cognizant of that.
Oh, no, I know.
That's why each of us created a brand new email upon becoming
Just for
selectmen.
And don't use your cell phones.
Right.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Yep.
that's not.
And even former selectman Aruda, when I started working on the CIP and town kind of documentation, he said, get a town laptop. Don't ever use your home computer
Yep.
for it.
Yeah.
So duly noted.
All right, well, I'll take one more and then we'll move on.
This was a little while ago, but I was told that all of the town emails were already taken and we couldn't get any more because we went over our allotment. So I couldn't get one for being on planning board, CIP, master plan.
Yeah, so we are still working through that situation. There's a potential that we could get a few more, but it's really limited at this point. It does cost, well, it's going to cost money in the future, so we're gonna try to keep it to a limited amount. So, but we can work with you on that.
Okay.
If you want to send me an email, we can
Sure.
keep that on the list.
It doesn't mean we don't have separate emails, like I have one that's just for this.
Yeah, so a
It
lot
just
of
doesn't
them
say
use-
Town of
I
Madison.
think Joy's the only one that
Oh,
has
gotcha.
one in the
It's
town.
separate,
Everybody else
does
uses an
nothing else.
email that's
Yeah.
free to
Yep.
use. So.
I mean, we
Okay.
even have department heads who don't have their own email
Yeah.
address. We have some that really aren't used, so we've been kind of like decommissioning those and because we have an allotment of 25, so we have been decommissioning using, and so far the like the ones that we've been creating are for departments as opposed to individuals.
Right.
So that's because there is a planning at,
Yes.
but yeah.
All right.
Use that, I guess, if I have access to it.
One more.
And have you heard of Riggins rules?
Riggins rules.
I have a copy, I'll give it to you.
I have a copy. I brought it to give it to you, but it's just, and
No, give it to me.
it's just more how to be like a good member of a town committee.
Oh, okay.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And
There's
yeah,
plenty of good
Kim
resources.
Sear, way back when I was first appointed to as an alternate on the ZBA, gave me this book with everything in it, and she gave Riggins rules in it. She gave a really organized book that was really pretty useful. I don't read it, but I have it.
Work on it.
Let's get on the shelf.
Well, it's very helpful. I'll take a look at it. All right, we're gonna move on because I'm only halfway done. Sorry about this. Well needed training and report. Okay, so over the past few months, I've been busy. Really trying to get a pulse about what is really happening in Madison with employees. So I came in knowing what my role was and stepped into it pretty quickly. Having worked with the state, I really had a strong sense of what I was meant to do. And so I have had a lot of observations, but also I wanted to back this up with data. So I administered a survey to all of our department heads, along with departments outside of under the board, and then most of you. But pretty much they all backed up my observations, and then so I have come up with the report on town business, and then some strategy moves we can make, along with what needs to be prioritized. So I'm going to start off with observations. All right, so record management and information organization. So my office, when I came in, had a lot of things everywhere, which is totally fine. I'm not here to talk about the past at all, but I would like to talk about how to move forward. And so there are records everywhere from every time period, going back to probably the late 90s, along with our digital files, which all go back to 2005 when they first went digital in Madison. So there is not a lot of organization that was kept throughout the different people who had taken offices in town hall. So it is kind of all over the place. It's very inconsistent. We have lots of duplicates in the data files, so all of our shared drives are duplicated all over the place. So it's going to take a little bit, but we really should clean it. Clean data is really helpful. It's extremely important for preservation. 91A requests, all of those things that are required by law for us to keep. retention, all of those things. So we also are not quite sure who owns what, who has access to what. So we're still trying to figure that out. There was a potential loss of information with some of the changeover of computers. We're still also trying to figure that out. This is really risky. So let's see. Do I have that on the next slide? I'm trying to figure out how to put this together. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it creates all those risks, and then obviously data security on the computers is a huge risk as well. We currently don't have any cybersecurity. It's something that I highly recommend we look into immediately. I'm actually meeting with a IT company on Wednesday or Thursday, and I'm meeting with the DOIT for New Hampshire, the state grant that is to move over to a .gov email. There's a grant for that that'll cover 3 years of licensing, and they'll pay for your new .gov. I'm meeting with them on Thursday. So that is moving forward, hopefully soon. Let's see, and then we have policy, procedures, and governance. So like I had mentioned in the training, we have very minimal department SOPs, which really creates a lot of havoc for new employees, myself included. We have some outdated personnel procedures, very, very limited onboarding documentation. We have a lack of formal annual review structure and inconsistent operational practices between departments. So one department will be doing one thing and another department will be doing a different thing. And then just a lack of governance training, which is what I'm here to do for you today. This is a pretty large legal liability that we want to address, making sure that employees, no matter which department, knows what the operating procedures should be. We're also trying to make everything consistent, obviously. Inconsistency really creates a lot of distrust, and it kind of makes you look like you're favoring someone sometimes, and we're trying to prevent that. We are a government agency. This also really makes you rely on institutional knowledge on individuals. So you lost several individuals that had a lot of institutional knowledge. And that is very difficult to get out of. So trying to start with a structure that actually will help put that institutional knowledge into documentation is extremely important. There's a reason that government has a lot of documentation. And we just want to create more efficiency. Really, we're trying to streamline things. We are very lean here, but we are a little too lean. So we're definitely understaffed right now, but we're getting there. Hopefully with some hiring, that'll be good. And then that jumps right into human resources and personnel. So we have stepped away from the formal wage schedule back in 2019, which is not helpful for anybody. It has created some situations with personnel that maybe they were promised something they have not gotten, and we want to make sure that we get back to a schedule to be able to make sure that we are paying people appropriately. Also, if you are to do any kind of increase, like this, recently the state did and most actually agencies across the nation did a 10% increase for inflation to their wage schedules. So that was pretty standard across the nation. That is easily done when you have a schedule. And it also helps with longevity. You want people to be here as long as possible. It's really great to have the benefits of working for government for a long period of time. It takes 10 years to vest in New Hampshire retirement. It takes 20 years if you work for the state to get the medical on top of it. But I don't believe that's something that you do here at the municipal level. But yeah, so we also don't have any performance evaluations. So we don't know that maybe people need to go up a step or not down a step for their yearly wages. And then we don't have very much communication about said policies regarding personnel, which can create some issues that could be easily resolved with just any kind of communication about the policies or having the policies in every department. And then, like I said before, there's minimal onboarding or training systems put together for new employees. This can really help. The risk is recruitment, really, keeping employees here, and retention. So sometimes liability exposure. And then we'll move to IT. Like I had said a little bit ago, we don't have any cybersecurity for our system, which is really, really dangerous. There have been many, many towns that have been hacked recently. I know of 2. And so, like within the past week, really, like that's how recently. So we're not trying to be on that list, and we want to prevent that as soon as possible. We've been extremely lucky till this point. But we really need to move ourselves into the 21st century still. There are a lot of things that are very analog, and yes, we are a government agency, but we do not have to be behind most towns.
It's funny, they kind of ironically cancel each other out. There's so much paper, we're actually become a low cybersecurity risk.
Right, yeah, that is true. But it's time to get in the right direction, especially with all of this, like I was talking to Mike the other day, with the clerk duties, they're trying to go paperless. So, it's really important that we have that security around some of our, especially like tax collector stuff and, things that we're getting audited on. It's really important that we're not losing those things. And then financial operations and bookkeeping. It was very unclear who owned QuickBooks that we use for our bookkeeping. There's been some inconsistency across the bookkeeping practices. Limited financial procedures. A lot of this was institutional knowledge. So it was done well in the fact that we have done very good with our audit. But there's just a very limited amount of what's written down. And it would be really nice to have a treasurer. Which we'll get to that later on. So this is gonna be quite an issue. I'm hoping to have our bookkeeper do at least a partial audit for the first part of the year, since there were several people who were doing things within the first few months of the year, just to make sure that we're on track with being able to pass our audit this next year. I don't want to run into any issues that late in the game. Governance and board operations. So what's really nice is that you guys really want to improve. And you want it to be efficient, which is great. And transparent, which is also great. But we really need to move into that rebuild with our public trust. We want to make sure that meetings are safe for people to come to. We want to make sure that we're making very informed decisions. So that is something that would be extremely helpful. And then, yep. Last but not least is departmental observations. I asked a lot of the department heads to be here today because I wanted them to also get the training about what to expect for your meetings. But also, I wanted to point them out and say that you have some of the best employees I have ever seen in a town. Like, by far, your department heads are killing it. Like, killing it. Like, you guys could have been so screwed by losing the amount of people you lost, but you have some incredible employees. And I would hopefully empower you to appreciate them a lot. That is the one thing that came up in my survey that got the most no answer to, which is, how often are you recognized for your work? Never. Was the best answer I got for everybody. That's not okay.
No. Yep.
So we did do an appreciation event. Thank you, Joe.
Yes. Excellent, chef.
On Monday, but I would like to see that continued on a regular basis. Very much so.
Okay.
We are, like I said earlier too, we're a very lean organization, but a little too lean, in my opinion. Which means everybody's working overtime here. Everybody is going above and beyond what is really asked of them. And it's extremely important that we appreciate every single person that works here. I certainly do. And I hope you all know that, and I hope you all got the memo when I spoke with you, is that we appreciate you a lot. Yeah, that's a big thing. All right, so my findings for the survey were a need for formal policies.
I'm going to pause for a second. I just want to make sure that the employees know that we, all five of us, very much appreciate you. And we promise to do, I think I speak for the board when I say we promise to do better, making sure you know it.
Yeah.
And to you, Lucia, too. We appreciate you.
I haven't been here as long as they all
but
have,
we just
so.
don't want to leave you out.
All right, I appreciate that. So, a need for formal policy procedures and pay structures. Communication regarding, communication remains a significant concern. We got to figure out the communication, how it's done, what we should do about it, all of that. That's something that we can discuss. And any staffing and workload challenges. So like the fire department really would like to recruit some more volunteer members. There is definitely some people, you know, in certain departments who are maybe doing a little more than what they used to be doing, and so the workload's definitely increased. Training and professional development. Everybody would like to be trained more. Everybody's always looking for training opportunities. I know that there are some budgets for certain departments that do have training. There are some that don't. But everybody would like to be trained more. Employee recognition and workplace culture. We just touched on that. You know, getting town hall to be a very happy, light place to be in would be very helpful and is one of the major goals of mine. And we're hoping to move in that direction. Technology and operational efficiency. Like, we're just trying to get back to where we're competing with other towns, because really we're kind of not, and we want to get there. Yeah, the next one. Okay, so what are our strengths out of all of this? What are our strengths? Our departments heads and our departments are very committed to the jobs they do. You've, like I said before, a lot of great employees. They're very committed. Where we all want to improve as well. Everybody's looking to make an improvement to their department, to where they're working. They all want to modernize. We all want to get there. It's much easier for us to do our jobs when there's easy technology to use. And we do really well in our audits, so our financial reporting is very, very good. So not a lot of towns can say that, and we can, which is great. We're going to try to keep it that way. All right. But we do have a lot of key concerns. I've touched on a lot of these things, so I'll just go over them quickly. A potential loss of duplication of historical information. That's digital. Minimal or no department SOPs. Outdated personnel procedures. Lack of formal annual review structure. No formal wage schedule. Inconsistent communication. Minimal cybersecurity structure. Unclear ownership of digital systems, including QuickBooks, which we have figured out finally, but it took a while. Limited written financial procedures and bookkeeping practices over time. Your meeting efficiency. That's why we're doing this.
Yep.
And consistent governance practices. We just want to be consistently being a government agency doing the things that the government does. So recommendations. I would like to move into the back office, which you already know. I think moving some people around in town hall is going to be helpful.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for a couple of years.
I know rec department would like to move into town hall. We'd like to put them there. So there's just some opportunities for changing just the layout and who goes where.
Because the rec department has had that office for probably 2 years, but never uses it, so.
Yeah, they're gonna move upstairs.
Yeah.
Record management modernization, that's just the obvious. Policy and SOP developments. So I've been talking to most department heads about this. I would like to start before December into creating SOPs for every department. I know that Chief has a few that he's been working on, and I know Sloan has been working on a few of her own, but we got to get all the other departments up to standard. Getting those in and through is just going to make everybody's life a lot easier. Also, the public can come in and say, hey, what do you do? And we go, here you go. We do this. It's way more transparent to the public and to everybody else when everybody knows what we're doing. So the pay structure. Pay scales, so we are going to start with DPW first. I would like to have that through by August. It's definitely necessary, but we're going to redo. I have Dylan working on making sure that all of the job descriptions are up to date, and then what a pay scale should look like. I recommend that we do 3 different pay scales, one for police, one for DPW, and one for the rest of us. Just because DPW and police are very specialized and would need a different scale almost entirely. The IT, like I said, we're working on it. It's definitely gonna come down to the money, so that's where we stand with that. Definitely excited to have a treasurer come on, which you guys will announce later. Hoping to get all of those ducks lined up and in order so that we can get everybody their drawdowns that are actually accurate. Obviously continue the trainings with you guys, continue the trainings with whoever else would like it. I'm definitely willing to give this more than once if you need it. Employee support and organizational culture, sorry. Just showing appreciation for our employees and making sure that they feel supported is very important to me. I know that it can, with government work, it can get very overwhelming, and I really just would like to see us have a fun time doing the work that we do. A communication plan is definitely necessary, not only from the board, from departments. Employee recognition program, I think maybe we could start this. Definitely getting some employees recognized for their service, doing either like a 5-10 year, longevity one, or, you're doing outstanding, let's do like an employee of the year or something. We could definitely start that. Workforce development, upskilling, and co-training, making sure that everybody knows how to do some of the things. Cross-training, making sure that, we're not losing people, especially if we have retirements. Technology modernization initiative would be technology is going to be put throughout all of this because it's very necessary. And then, staffing and succession planning, making sure that we are planning for when people leave and making sure we have the budget for it and making sure that everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing. And then here's what I would recommend happen now. In about 6 months and then, 12 months or town meeting. Now we need our finances stabilized. Hopefully in the next few weeks that'll start happening, especially with tax season. We need the compensation framework to start happening for all departments. It's very important we get everybody on to where they should be being paid. Policy review, what do we have, what do we don't have, what needs to be updated. Any governance training like today. Records inventory, what do we have? What do we even have? A lot of it's what's even here? And then we need to fill some vacancies. That's very important. We need to be fully staffed. 6 months from now, any SOP development, HR structure implementation, digital file standardization, onboarding procedures, reorganizing staff, and then a long term, which is software modernization. It's probably going to go to town meeting in a budget. Record overhaul, I would love to hire a person for a project to do that. That would be super awesome. Strategic planning initiatives, long-term culture development, and long-term workforce development. And that is all. So, do you have any questions?
Thank you, first of all,
Yes, thank you very much.
for both training, the thoroughly in-depth analysis of town operations and our
Y'all need to know what we
folks
do.
and- yeah. Yes, we do. This is huge. This is huge. This is what we've needed for a long, long time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And honestly, this is more than I think any of us would have asked for or expected. It's just so incredibly helpful, so thank you.
You're welcome. It's easier for me to do my job when I know what I'm doing. I don't know, anybody from the public have any questions? Tia?
May I have a copy of that for our master plan?
Oh, sure, yeah, I'll send it to you. Can you just send me an email of that, so it's
Yes.
easier to remember when it's email?
Yes.
Yeah, and as the big projects come down the line, anything that kind of hits that $10,000 mark, to make sure the capital improvement committee starts planning for big expenses like that.
Yeah, definitely any IT updates will probably be in that realm.
Yep.
But it'll be probably like a huge overhaul, complete changeover to stuff, so. I'll get some idea of that hopefully in the next few weeks.
And I think to filling vacancies, we still have a part-time land use administrator assessor opening, full-time highway tech opening, and part-time DPW open.
Yep.
And we did get a few applications, right?
Yeah, we've gotten a few.
Yep.
We could definitely get some more. I think we're gonna post in the Sun for DPW coming up. We just reached out to them today. Yeah. So something to digest is. Sorry, I took a lot of your time, but I think this was something that was necessary, and I'm hoping that the meetings are a little more structured, and we can start moving forward with some of the bigger issues that I have seen. So.
And so appreciate the transparency. I mean, this took time, but it was time well spent.
Yep.
And that the public is informed on all of this.
Yeah.
You know, and they
You
have
all
the
should know
information.
what
and-
we're doing.
Yeah.
And how we're doing. You know, it's important for the public to know how town hall's going.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, thanks very much.
Suggestion for the selectmen, for your board meetings, when you have the public comment, maybe to remind the public that it's for them to comment, not for them to discuss with you. It's them to give you their opinion and then sit back, not expect an answer right then.
Mhm. Yes.
Maybe reiterate it for the first public comment and the last public comment.
Yeah.
Until they get used to the procedure.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. So,
Good job.
with an agenda, and an updated agenda,
Oh, do you want to motion for that?
do you want to adopt that agenda?
There were a couple of things.
All right.
Yeah, that I don't have them in front of me, but the some of the things that I had sent you
Yes.
today, I think there were a couple things in there that maybe weren't in this.
They're mostly in there, but
Okay. Good check one. Good check what I sent you real quick. Should try faster.
but I would recommend adopting
This for now.
a change in agenda soon, if not
Yep.
today. So that would be my only comment on that. But all right, I'm done. I don't want to stay any longer.
Good job.
Thank you.
And what I had sent to Lucia was the ideas, the one page that I'd sent to all of us before our first meeting back in March. And then, so call to order, pledge allegiance, approval of the agenda.
Oh, we can turn that off.
Yep, no, you covered it.
Great.
On the same page.
Great.
All right, so looking at
Do it?
looking at it on what page was it? All right, on page 8.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, I would happily accept a motion to change the agenda format as Lucia has done on page 8 of this packet.
I will move to change the agenda format to something like page 8.
Second?
I'll second.
All right.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So then the department heads would be before public comment or after?
After.
After, okay.
One, just after.
Do like just as you wrote it? Because I
Mm-hmm.
had written arrows to move them up even higher,
No.
so I didn't know. After public comment.
After public comment.
I know
Yeah.
we made a motion, I seconded, but that also would put in, what about your policies for everything to be submitted? Well,
You
that would
don't
be
have
policy
to
change, right?
accept
That'd
the
be separate.
policies.
Okay.
You can just accept the format of the
All
agenda.
right, so that's what we'll do, and I seconded it.
Just follow this agenda
Yes.
from now on.
Yes.
That makes sense, okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
You're welcome.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next.
All right.
Consider you.
Next item is the
Too long.
Farmers Market of Madison, through Madison Rec, and we have Tia Gagnon, who has sent us some lovely information. Yeah, if you could give us like a quick summary of the, of kind of what's proposed, that it, you know, who it's through.
Yeah, sure. Yep, so I'm Tia Gagnon, and I am trying to put together a farmer's market for Sundays throughout the summer season and harvest season at Burke Field. And I'm working with the rec department, and I went to them to become a program of theirs, which basically means that they support it and they've adopted it. And so now I'm coming to you to see if you will also do the same. I'm not on the board, the rec board, and they were unavailable today, last minute. I was hoping that they would be here, but so I can't speak to them. But
You can
Jake
speak to
is
me.
on. Jake's on the board. So as a program of the rec, we're basically doing it by donation this year. As I understand, there are, if you set fees, you have to have like a
Public meetings,
public
yeah.
hearing and all of that. So really trying to avoid that. Not that I don't love to come and see you guys, but just to make it easy, make sure that the donations are going back to the rec program and benefit the community in that sense. And we are looking to start June 28th. It'll run until October 11th. Again, Sundays at Burke Field, 3 to 6, with some schedule changes depending on Old Home Week and different ball games that come up. Yeah, and really it's just a community event. We want to invite vendors, local farmers, crafters, and have them come in. And then I also have some waivers that I'm requesting too. So, hang on, I can pull them up, and I hope that you had a chance to take a peek at them. Okay. So I'm looking for a dog waiver to allow people to bring their dogs if they clean up after them. Alcohol sales allowance. So farmers markets are allowed to have, like craft brewers or vintners come out and sell, and they just have to have a special state liquor license for the farmers market. So that's a joint thing that you guys would have to sign off on.
Would we have to validate each vendor has that license?
You would, and they would have to print out a form for you guys, and I linked that. So to be allowed to sell alcohol on town property, and then an alcohol sales and consumption waiver. So if they're allowed to do taste testers, or to actually have, like if somebody was, serving, then I think I would need another consumption waiver so people could actually drink the beer. And then if that's a no, I'm wondering if we could do like what Old Home Week does with BYOB, if you want. I'm not expecting it to be some crazy thing, but if people want to, they could bring their own. And then I had a vendor who is just down the street, and this is like my favorite part, but so we're asking for a petting zoo allowance because maybe Seamus, the pony, can come for a walk down and be set up, not for rides, but just to see and promote their farm business. There are some regulations that, you know, you just have to keep it away from the food and all of that. But I think that would require another waiver, kind of like a dog waiver, but a pony waiver.
And we need to be very careful about where we place things, given the amount of work that's just been put into the ball fields.
So, yeah,
Yes.
that was my concern with the pony waiver
Yeah.
and the dog waiver would be the grass.
Okay.
Because the pony will eat the grass. So that's kind of a non-starter for me. I mean, if we could have them out, like right, like if we had them out in the parking area,
Yeah.
that would be. I mean, I wouldn't have an issue with something like that. But the dog waiver, I'm leery of, and I know people have the best intentions to clean up after their dogs, but even the urine can kill the grass.
Okay.
So that's just my 2 cents on those two. Not that I don't love dogs, I have a dog myself, but I know he does in my grass.
Yeah, nobody wants like the brown spots. I
Right.
understand. Yeah. Okay.
Quick question to you.
Yeah.
My concern is the alcohol consumption on premises. I haven't been to the Tamworth Farmers Market. That's very popular on Saturdays here. Do you know if vendors there sell alcoholic products, and are they consumed on site as well?
They are. I've been.
Are they? That's why I haven't been over there for a while.
Yeah.
But, you know, we do have a policy that restricts alcohol
Right, but we
use.
have been waiving, I think
I
the
understand.
Silver Lake Boat Club we've granted a couple of waivers to them on Silver
My
Lake
concern
Beach.
is having people drinking on town property, then potential DUI or liability. And I saw you did have.
Well, this would be tasters, it looks like, not
Yeah, I know.
actual.
But it
but
also
still-
says consumption.
Consumption, and that's why I'm asking. And now, will each of these vendors have their own liability insurance? You know, what if the petting zoo, right? Yeah, a goat bites somebody or somebody gets hurt, whatever, right? You know, I don't want to see town liability on something like that. You know, I assume since they are businesses coming in that they do have a commercial liability, but I think that's something we need to look at. I'm not sure how Tamworth or other towns handle their farmers market. I think it's a great idea. I'm a big supporter of the community garden and the farmers market. Plus, you were offered to donate the excess produce or whatever's left at the end of the day, food pantry. That's great. But let's just make sure that our potential liability, after we were just briefed on risk and liability management, that I don't understand, and that's my concern is just when you start mixing alcohol in an event, you know, consuming it on premises. And
Okay.
I don't know if, you know, Chief Hayford has any comments on, I'm not sure what the law is on that, Jim, or,
I think it's up to the board if they want to have the waiver to do it. I
Did we
don't
agree?
think anyone's coming to the farmer's market to get out.
no, I know, but I'm just concerned if somebody does, then they're driving, leaving town property, whatever,
Do
right?
we have
Yeah.
a waiver for the softball teams?
They don't drink. They don't have permission to drink on the field. I mean, I'm not saying they don't
Good
do it.
clarification.
They do not have permission to drink at the field.
Can we check with Primex or something? You know what I mean? I just want to make sure
Well,
that, you know.
so, Mike, I mean, with the Old Home Week committee, and they
Yeah.
get the waiver every week.
The liability is on that, he or she who provides it.
Okay, that's, yeah, I
There's
don't
no
know. That's what I'm
liability on
asking.
the town. If you grant a waiver to somebody to do something and something goes awry, you didn't supply the alcohol. All you did was waive your policy. You're not liable for anything. The liability is gonna go to the people that took action. Somebody served somebody or whatever. And of all the years we've gotten waivers for Old Home Week, very limited, maybe 1, 2 issues at all in 10, 15 years.
Okay.
So, I mean, people around here generally police themselves. You just mentioned softball. Yeah, it's not supposed to happen. We all know what's happening. The only thing I've ever said to a man is clean up after yourself. Don't leave empties where the kids find them. Don't leave empties at all. We don't have trash cans for a reason.
Carry it
in,
here.
carry it out.
So,
It's-
Tia, just so I can, these are what you're requesting for waivers. Are you still planning on going in June, even if these questions aren't answered? You're not gonna let this stop you, right?
I'd hope not.
Okay.
I don't
No,
really
no.
let much, but
Well, what
I
I'm
mean, a
saying
no,
is
a
if we had
straight
enough
no would be
questions,
good.
and we meet every 2 weeks to get this stuff done.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
2 weeks are gonna click and it's gonna be June. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping this doesn't just stop you if we have questions on a couple of these. Keep it
No.
going, keep it going.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would certainly do that. I guess I could just open it on June 28th without any, like Tuckerman's or the vineyard down the road. And then no dogs. Are they allowed to BYOB, or are you just trying to completely
So,
steer away from that?
Nicole had a question, and then I'd like to go through them one by one real quick.
Okay.
A couple questions. I worked for the Tamworth Farmers Market for several years. So I don't have a problem with any of those things. I think it's all awesome. I think New Hampshire has a farm animal exemption for liability. You might want to look into that. So basically, farm animals bite, kick, scratch, have sex in public, all that stuff, and it's not nobody's liable for it. But I would look that one up. And it's funny, one thing that is missing, which was the most hammered on at the Tamworth Farmers Market, is you will be asked to leave as a vendor if your tent is not completely weighted down, because they've been known to actually injure people. But that's the only one that really stands out as missing from my prior experience with the Tamworth Market, is they require really heavy duty weights. And they actually, I just was at a market Sunday, and they have these new water ones. They're fillable on site, and then they hold down the tent. But that was something that they were the strictest on, was make sure the tents were weighted.
Yeah, we had that crazy downdraft. I think it was Old Home Week a couple of years ago, and a tent came down on a head.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We don't want that. As far as liability, I mean, anybody can be sued, and I don't want to be naive. Part of this is so that we can get people in, like people selling eggs probably don't have a BOP. They're not paying $1,000 to an insurance company for liability insurance. I'm suggesting it, and I guess it would be back to your insurance company, and they'll probably say, yes, everybody needs to have $1 million liability limit if they're going to be on premise. But we do have the craft fair at Old Home Week. We do have all of these town-sponsored events, and that was part of my reason for going through rec, was so that we could bring these people in who may not be like the huge vendors that go to MWV or Tamworth. And I don't think that Tamworth requires liability, so I
do.
Oh, they do?
They do. They just don't. They said, but they say we require, but we are not the insurance police. We will not be checking certificates and stuff.
Okay, so I didn't see it on their website.
That was my experience when I was there.
And then some towns do. So
The market itself also had an insurance policy.
so Mike, similarly for
Because
Old
they're a
Home Week,
business.
when you guys have the craft
Nonprofit.
fair,
nonprofit, right?
do you require any kind of documentation waiver? Nothing. They just
Well, no, we don't get into the
Produce
alcohol and stuff.
yeah,
like
no.
that.
I just mean in terms of like the craft fair itself, people coming in and selling
Well,
their
no,
wares.
because they're using our tents, our tables, our chairs. I mean, pretty much all they're doing is occupying the seat and using our own tables to market their wares. So
Yeah.
Okay.
it's very, I mean, like you just said, I mean, anybody can sue you over anything.
Oh,
That
yeah.
doesn't mean they're gonna win, but you
Yeah.
gotta spend money always defending yourself.
No, I just want to ask the questions up
Yeah.
front
Right.
to make sure. Is that something, Lucia, we can run by Primex, just kind of, since it is an official rec committee, it is a town-sponsored
Yeah.
farmer's market,
Yep. So let's be
just make sure it's covered under our policy.
well. We have to be
Send the list of
specific about what we
waivers
want to know is
to
covered.
them
Okay.
and get their view on what they check box off.
Sure. And the alcohol liability, I mean, the people who are selling that are responsible, and that's what they're saying through their license. So some things have to be licensed, some things don't, and you'll see that in all of the research and everything.
Maybe the
But yeah.
town.
We also have, I don't know, a problem with the sale of alcohol. It's the
Yeah,
consumption.
it's a consumption on
But
premises
again-
that's kind of my concern, yeah.
All right, so in terms of dog.
If it's sold, it will be consumed.
Sure, that I can agree with. but-
So in terms of a dog waiver, I would say not right now, maybe consider it down the road. But I would say not right now. What do you guys think? No?
The dogs.
Okay. Alcohol sales allowance. I tend to say allow them to buy a bottle of wine and take it home sort of thing. I don't have a problem with that.
I can support that, yeah.
Okay.
No, that's good.
And then it'll be, we'll check with Primex, make sure we're dotting our i's and crossing our t's, and if we need to validate, each vendor has a license to sell.
Yeah, they should have to supply that license
Mhm.
Yeah.
so that we know.
So we would need sales and consumption waiver. I think we're gonna hold off on that for now.
For now,
Sales,
yeah.
Just for now?
Consumption.
Yeah, so hold off on consumption. The state oversight all that. BYOB not for now, not right now. Petting zoo, not right now.
No, I think the petting zoo would be a really cool thing to have, but if
Well-
we could come up with a designated space or something.
And they
But that is
definitely
also-
have that at the Tamworth Market too.
Yeah.
But that is, yeah, designated spot, depends on location
Yeah.
And I
and
think just proof of insurance at that point.
and
That's
liability.
it.
As long
Insurance
as
is my
right.
concern as well.
And my thought is, like I said, as long as it's not on the field, I think it would be great.
Okay.
Kids would
Yeah.
enjoy that, and
Okay,
And we moved it with the rec. I had it on the field away from them, like the vendors, and we moved it outside, like out behind the shed, kind of, in that space. So I don't know.
which I think would be fine. Again, as long as it's not on the field, the other grass is not great anyways, and that's not a real huge concern, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, not
Less
just not on the
mowing
ball
for
field.
Dylan's guys.
Yeah.
so you have vendor parking up behind the DPW where there are kind of sand piles.
Yeah, just like along the.
Where we park for baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had that as emergency access, and then the vendor parking was back up behind the garage. So we just need to look at space for that.
Oh,
behind the
yeah, I see
garage.
where the vendor parking is, but I
Yeah.
think you could put the vendor parking over past the emergency access, like I said, where we park for
Yeah.
baseball out by the basketball courts there.
Okay.
That'd be fine.
Mhm.
Yep, and then folks need to be mindful that down, like the parking that normally is down at the entrance of Burkefield is limited to one side of the driveway now because of the garden. Okay,
Oh,
so,
down bottom, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Oh, people can park there.
just not on, if you're driving in, not on the right side now, because that's where the community garden is going in.
Okay, that's great.
All right, so no on dog waiver, yes on alcohol sales, no on consumption.
Not yet.
No,
Not
no
yet,
on,
till
yeah,
we get
yeah.
clarification.
For today,
Yeah.
yeah, for today. No on BYOB, yes on petting zoo, depending on location, and proof of insurance. And with the sales allowance, we would need to understand to validate, each vendor. So in terms of what we're asking in Primex, what do we need to do for the alcohol sales allowance, and then, for the petting zoo allowance? And it sounds like this does not require, extra, any kind of liability or waivers or anything from the vendors beyond the two that we just mentioned for the alcohol sales and the petting zoo.
Mhm.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
It,
good.
it wouldn't hurt if it was just, if there was an entrance that says, come at your own risk, dog at your own risk, in case there's dog fights, I know there are at Tamworth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you're here at your own risk. It doesn't hurt to put that up.
Okay.
Entrance, you know what I mean? If anybody's concerned.
All right. So those the specific questions that you had for us? Like, do you need,
tasting the same as consumption?
what's that?
Is tasting the same as consumption?
I feel like it is, yeah.
If you have an
Yeah.
open bottle of alcohol.
Technically, any alcohol container with a broken seal is an open container.
Yeah.
So even if you open it to sniff it, that's an open container.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
And that's, the-
Yeah, 'cause
and that's
that would be kinda cool. It would be
effectively
very cool.
consumption, or that's
Yeah.
still
and
not
you
quite
don't even have to
consumption?
consume it. There's no open containers in its town ordinance. Falls on the town to make that decision.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be separate too, if you're like, no, for consuming, like somebody's serving. If you are instead okay with doing tasters or samples That's usually allowed for farmers markets,
Yep.
for
They're
food
like
or
thimbles.
beverage.
Yeah, right. They look like communion cups.
All right, so we then.
I think
that
if
counts
we
as
clear it,
consumption,
if we clear it with
but Tasters with Primex.
Primex, as long as Primex is
Then I'm-
able to.
I'm
Okay.
fine with
I
that.
mean,
I think
again,
it sounds great.
I'm not trying to put a damper on the farmer's market. I just want to make sure
Trying to
that
limit
we've
customer
addressed
payout
all
lawyers.
of the, you know,
Okay.
the concerns, especially on
All
liability.
right,
Yeah,
so that will be
I
another,
appreciate it.
one last item to check with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Primex
and
is the
then
tasters.
just
Okay.
if you all approve of it, and I can't speak for the rec department, but I believe that's what we need to be checked and
stamp
ready
of
to go.
approval.
Yeah, and then I have my rec volunteer sheets too. Do you need those now?
Yeah.
or-
Tia, have a lot of vendors shown interest in coming on Sunday afternoons? No, I'm just curious how many, you know,
Yeah,
because it
so
sounds
I
really
do-
good. Yeah.
I do have a interest form out right now, and we have been getting a lot of Facebook responses. We've got about 100.
Wow.
So
Okay.
that's with people wanting to vend and attend.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that we can get it together. And again, I told the rec committee I've never done this before, so give me a little grace. But I'm really gonna try hard and try to bring a community event for all ages.
No, I
to
think
the-
Sunday's a good time because the other markets are like Friday, Saturday.
Yep,
So
yep,
you
all
won't
through
have
the
the
week.
local competition as well, so.
Yeah, and we don't want to do that. It's
Mhm.
really just to get people there and showcase our local farmers and crafters.
One thing, and this is a question from me because it relates to our community as well. I know Tamworth, if you have clients that come on SNAP benefits,
Yeah.
they get a 50% discount, you know, if they buy fresh at Tamworth. I know Tamworth does it and some other farmers markets. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
that's something some of your vendors would offer some of our town residents as well.
So I believe as a market, we would need to go through the process with the state.
Okay.
And it takes a little bit, but I'd like to do that as a goal once we're established. Just
Once you
to
get up and
prove it.
running.
Yeah, because
Is
I
that-
looked into it, and it would be really nice to be able to offer that. And part of not being able to offer it right off the bat was to ask vendors if they do have excess produce or would like to donate to the pantry, if they can do that.
No, that'd be great. Mhm.
And also, it's a $20 suggested donation at the door, and that goes back to the rec.
Okay, perfect.
Right,
No,
thank
good.
you. Right. All right, so there is one more select board meeting before the market, but we are comfortable with the market moving forward with the items approved and not. Yeah, I know, I'm reading that. I'm reading that. So, I was going to ask for a motion, I will accept a motion to approve it as we've discussed. And should anything of concern pop up with Primex, I think on the 3 items that we are checking with them, we'll address that in 2 weeks.
Motion.
Jordan. Second?
Second.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
There we go. Thank you for
Yay,
organizing
thank you,
this.
Tia.
Thank you. I'm so
Because you needed one
excited.
more thing for the town on your plate.
This is gonna be a fun one, though.
It
is. It is.
There's a lot of us here that like to overcommit.
Yeah, right? Just enjoy it. It's fine.
Excellent, thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, dam project, Ms. Bergeron.
Wake up, is that what you're saying?
Somebody
Sean has
pitch in.
been very patient as we
All
make our
right,
way.
so you have, back a week or so ago, we delivered all the information that we have, that we've collected over the past few years related to the dam project. Back in 2024, we had put together a budget basically to carry this thing forward, because at that point in time, the concept was we would probably look to raise funds at the 25 meeting and be implementing this in 26. That got pushed back, so we raised money at this year's meeting. And so basically, my question to the board is, what do you want to do with this?
So there've been so many names and initials thrown around that I am just trying to hopefully understand once and for all. So MSK is not you, you're BTS.
That is correct.
But MSK was engaged to do multiple reports, which they have completed and we have paid for.
Also correct.
Thank you.
And Joy, maybe a little history. So the way that this thing started was the Board of Selectmen, this is interesting. When I'm looking back now, there's not a single member on this board that started this conundrum.
Hence why we're so confused.
So several boards of selectmen ago asked me to take a look, and what got this started was the bridge on top of the
Yes.
dam. Because, and if I recall correctly, it was because of snowmobile traffic that uses that bridge fairly regularly. And there was some concerns brought up. So personally, I assessed the bridge and made the recommendation that the bridge not be used. During that process, I also observed that there was probably some work that should be done to the dam itself, which led to the next step of our bringing in, no joking intended, a dam engineer, another dam engineer, to assess the dam itself. Because that dam, like in my office, I have civil engineering, we have land surveying, we have structural. We don't have people who specialize in dams. It's really unusual, quite frankly. So that's how we got hooked up with, I helped the town to get hooked up with MSK and eventually H.L. Turner. But if you notice, there's a common name on both the MSK and the Turner reports, and that name is Eric Teal. Because Eric is one of a handful of engineers who specializes in dams in the state of New Hampshire. At one point, he worked for the Dam Bureau for the state. Then he went out and worked for others, okay? So you're dealing with a type of engineering that's fairly peculiar. My recommendation is going to be that you always stay with somebody who does that, because it is peculiar. But how you move forward from here, I've spelled all that out. We have all the information now that should lead to the development of plans and specifications, which would then put you in a position of putting this project out to bid. My hope was get the plans and specifications in place, put the project out to bid around probably November, December, with the agreement with all bidding contractors that they have to hold their bids through annual meeting, so that we can go into annual meeting with a budget to be voted on by the legislative body. That was how I was proposing to put this together.
Okay, so very literally, we were asked to engage in 2023 and did. And then we got, this is just a proposal for engineering services.
What's the date on that, please?
That is September 15th, 2023. It says
Okay, and
proposal for services.
And so that's from Turner?
No, that's from MSK.
Okay, that work has been done then.
Right. But this was just their proposal as to what to do, and somewhere there's a contract affiliated with us accepting this proposal.
There's a purchase order.
Purchase order.
Yes,
okay.
and I think you should have it in that packet.
Sorry, it's a lot of documentation I didn't go through, I apologize. Okay. Thank you. The purchase requisition was September 2023, so it was basically immediately accepted. So this proposal was $15,000 worth of services, and these two reports, one is the hydrologic and hydraulic analysis, and then this is a breach analysis. So these were the two reports
Correct.
that came out of this proposal.
That's right.
$15,000 said done.
I think, be careful on that, Joy,
Okay.
because I think we had, if I recall correctly,
We had 30 in the account.
there was not, I can't speak to the money in the account.
I believe that's what it says.
But we had two purchase orders,
Okay.
because one was for the hydraulic and hydrological analysis.
Yeah.
And then the second one was for the breach analysis.
Okay.
And those were two separate purchase orders.
So what was the purchase order you just showed me?
That's for the hydraulic.
Hydrologic
Study, yeah.
Engineering. Engineering?
Looks like the one that Jim just showed me is not for the hydrological.
What does it say on it, Joy?
Engineering.
Proposed, and the proposed, so all work to be in accordance with the RFP from Bergeron Technical Services dated 8/21/2003, and the proposal for engineering services provided from MSK Engineers dated 9/13, schedule and deliverables to be as detailed within the RFP and proposal. So the 15,000 was more like a estimate or down payment or warrant article 2023-17.
Just for a proposal.
As there was 3 specific tasks, and the breach analysis was handled separately, as I recall, Joy.
Okay. So I guess it's up to us to tie back, to piece together the financial thing, like.
I think, and that's a fair statement, and I don't think you'll find any issues with that.
Yeah.
And you will also find that the purchase orders were issued by the Board of Selectmen or by the town administrator. And then the deliverables that were received were reviewed by myself. And then the invoices that we received were also reviewed, and I made sure, and I marked them accordingly. So you should have all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, we have both of them. We have the hydrologic and the engineering services. And the breach
Alright.
analysis, we have all 3.
Yeah.
So we have the invoices.
We have all 3 proposals. We don't
Yes,
have
we have
all.
the proposal in
Right.
each report. I'm just trying to follow the financial trail.
And Joy, I can look at the office to see, because we should have those too.
Then-
Yeah.
So at this point, we need to pay for them to engineer. That's where we're at.
Right, everything,
And that's,
to answer Jake's question, everything that the town has requested has been provided and paid for.
Yeah.
breach analysis. and they-
Sean, what do you see as a timeline if,
Hold on.
okay, all right.
Hold on, still following this. So then the HL Turner Group put together this proposal, and we did 2 warrant articles to come up to the proposed amount of the 166,000, I think it is.
Okay, so the proposal from Turner that you were referencing, Joy,
Yes.
is September 21, 2024.
Correct.
And then additionally, so that you know how you got to that $166,000 approximately figure,
Yeah, that's in, yeah.
you should also have a spreadsheet from Bergeron Technical of October 7th, 2024. So you can see how
Yes.
everything, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I've seen that.
you have the latest and greatest now.
Okay. But in terms of, so this was a proposal you broke down what would be the the Bergeron technical expense of that 166, and then part of, so it was a combination of Bergeron services and the HL Turner Group proposal.
Correctly stated.
Okay. So trying to find now, the contract piece of it. So we put aside the money. Did we sign a contract yet? And you may not know this, it's just.
I do know, you have not.
We have not signed the contract with
That
HL
is
Turner
correct.
Group.
You haven't signed a contract with anyone.
Not even you?
No.
But for the stuff you've done so far?
That's done.
That's done.
Yeah, okay.
But, okay, let's leave it, that's done.
Okay. So the proposal that came in with, as you mentioned, the spreadsheet, I've seen that before. Don't see this wonderful, helpful stack of information that is really good and I appreciate. Okay, so the work, we have set aside money for it, but this is basically just the basic question I've been trying to get at. We've set aside the money for this, but we haven't signed any contracts for this.
Good summary.
Okay. I feel like I've been trying to get that answer for 3 months.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course, yeah, go ahead.
Your professional opinion, you've stated just a minute ago that we should stick with someone who does this, obviously.
If I can answer, excuse me, if I can answer that in sort of 2 components.
Absolutely.
The quick answer is we should stick with somebody that does this, okay?
Yes.
The other thing you should stick with, unless you have some good reason not to, you should stick with the professionals that have gotten you this far.
That was
Yes.
the point I was looking for, yes. That was, because I know in some conversations it's been, we need to, go out, farm it out, or,
Well, if I may, too, to
Yes.
add to that, if you look back through history, we did put out requests for proposals on behalf of the town of Madison for the dam engineering. And just to give you an idea, company names don't matter, but I want to say that originally we did the work with MSK, who later became Turner, because that's where Eric went. But the proposals that we received were absolutely sky high in comparison to where MSK was.
Because
And
this
their
is
work-
something they do.
Yes,
every-
and their work is excellent.
Right, okay.
So, I had a thought, and now it's gone. Joe, you had a thought, and I apologize,
No,
cut you
I was
off.
just,
You had a thought.
I wanted to follow up on Eric Teal, his resume here. This guy is definitely a subject matter expert in dams. 40-plus years, and he's done over 100 dams throughout New England.
He's kind of a boring guy, actually.
But he's a master degree, civil engineer, PE, and this is.
So,
I
I
like the
get it.
fact that we have a gentleman
Yeah,
like this
I get it.
that's going to be working.
no, we get it.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
no, and I just wanted to follow up on. I was going to ask Sean if we contract with MSK and Turner. You're looking at having complete engineering, permitting, everything by November timeframe or so.
Well, again, remember, you would be contracting, and I have spoken to Eric somewhat recently, but it's been a while. I would still need to have a conversation with him. But so you would be in contract agreement with the company that he is working for, Turner. But part of that agreement has to be that we have a deliverable. They have to deliver to us by date certain so that we can put this out to bid. And then we put together those specifications as part of the bid document as to how long the contractors have to be able to protect and preserve their bids.
Okay, so this next piece, though, it is an engineering design, effectively, because we've done our studies, and this next phase in it is a design. engineering
Absolutely,
design.
yes.
So just so folks see, know what's on the spreadsheet, the H.L. Turner proposal from almost 2 years ago was $83,000 for their design. Bergeron review of these draft plans. The next part is allowances that Sean gave for how much it would cost. 12 hours for Bergeron review, $2,200. Review of the project manual, 12 hours, $2,200. Test borings allowance. See, I thought you were making a boring joke in terms of borings.
Yeah, no, it's boring holes.
Yeah. Test borings allowance, $10,000. Archaeology study and ACOE permits, $30,000 allowance. NHDES shoreland permitting, $15,000 allowance. Coffer Dam engineering, that depends on required time of bid, so that's not covered in this. Bergeron recommended to add to task 8 in the Turner proposal, which was it the red piece?
Yes.
Part-time construction phase observations. So then this included part-time construction phase observations. It's kind of so when we actually put it out to bid, they would kind of stay engaged.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
And then additional Bergeron oversight on behalf of the town of Madison, allowance of $11,000. Okay, so that's where we got the 165 that we said I think 65,000 last year, 100,000 this year, vice versa. Could have been reversed. So that gets us to the dam design and some oversight of the construction of it, and a lot of review and triple checking and QC and stuff. But then the next phase is to actually do the repairs.
The next phase, once this is complete, put the project out to bid,
Yeah.
select a bidder, do the repairs.
Okay. So we had multiple RFPs, and the Turner Group was the only one that responded?
Let's see, for that,
I read
yes,
that somewhere.
to get us to where we are now, we had multiple RFPs. Once we started working with, remember, the first company was MSK,
Yeah.
because that's where Teal was.
Yeah.
Once we started working with MSK, we stayed with them.
Yeah.
We had multiple RFPs that led to them in the first place.
Right, the MSK piece, but went for the Turner, did we get, we didn't get RFPs for this because we had the working relationship with Teal through MSK?
Correctly stated.
Okay. All right. So the next piece is making sure that that the first RFP kind of, we feel sufficiently covers moving to Turner without a second round of RFPs. And then, Joe, the funding, the governmental funding, the grant for the dam, does that cover engineering services that have already been
No,
performed?
that would only
You can
be
go construction.
construction. The federal grants, you cannot go back and claim the design cost. Because this will be.
We haven't done them yet. So if we,
Yeah, but this,
got
the
the
grant
grant.
will be in 2027, FY 27.
all right,
So it has to be
And,
completed by.
When we met with Congressman Pappas is supporting this project. And the initial cost estimate to allow for, in case of, because the cost of about $1.25 million, which he is supporting. We may get less than that. That money, it made it out of Congressman Pappas's office. It's currently sitting in the House Appropriations Committee for inclusion in the FY 27 federal budget. Again, we don't know what cuts or, what's going to happen, what's going to fall out of the Appropriations Committee. But that money, the way the federal budget has been going, they do these continuing resolutions and everything. If you look recently, many of the large departments like FEMA, agriculture, just got funded in March, April. So we'd probably be looking at getting this money about that time frame, early spring 2027.
Question, Joe?
Yeah.
Because, and remember, I think, and I just, for everybody here, I'm a resident of Madison too, so this is
Yes.
gonna affect me too also. My concern would be, is that, and having lived through this in the past, reliance upon government grants, if they don't come through, then we're in a mess.
No, I agree.
So my recommendation would be, at least we have to go into this cognizant of the idea or thinking along the lines that perhaps the town of Madison has to fund this thing in its entirety. If we get that grant, that is an amazing bonus. But if we don't get that grant, we still have to do this and the burden is entirely upon us.
No, I agree, Sean, there's definitely risk. Again, we don't know, will we end up with the full amount, we're gonna end up at half, we don't know, right? We won't know until the bill is actually signed into law,
Right.
right, the 27 appropriations. And so, again, there is a risk that they may come back and say, no, sorry, you didn't, appropriations cut your project.
Because
Yeah.
I think anybody that's heard me talk about this before, and this is not because, frankly, I have to tell you, this is not a big project for Bergeron Technical. It's something that I'd like to help the town with. But the reality is, this dam isn't gonna heal. It's not getting any better every day.
Yep.
And the way that our environmental events are happening, we keep ignoring this, bad things could happen. The good thing about the bad things is we have learned through this study, if we lose that dam, we're not gonna lose the culvert. So East Shore Drive's gonna stay where it is, and there's almost no harm caused downstream. But those property owners on Silver Lake are gonna have a hell of a lot more shorefront.
yep,
Mhm.
yep.
It's gonna be a
7
lot.
to 8 feet, right?
It's gonna be a long ways out to the
Go
water.
down 7 to 8 feet.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. No, this is kind of the history that I've been trying to wrap my head around for a long time, so thank you. Very much appreciate that.
One of the, just wrap up on Pappas's, the discussion we had with the congressman and the guy who actually writes the legislation for him, is they are looking for a shovel-ready project. So if this federal money does come in, we need the designs, the permitting, the check shows up, they want to know, like, you're going to start.
That's what those plans are.
Yeah.
All right. So, and we've set the money aside anyway. So we already have the 165 for the Bergeron and Turner services. Okay.
But Joe is talking about 27.
Right.
How long would they hold this bid? Say we do it for 26,
Well, so
would they hold it a whole year?
the work is going to be done, this engineering work will be done so that the project is designed, shovel-ready, okay, use that term, at the end of '26.
Okay.
Bid it at the end of '26, and that's what I said, we have to ask these bidding contractors
To hold it
to
till the
hold their
27.
number until
March.
March, April. nobody's gonna wanna hold the Jake dog, nobody's gonna wanna hold it much longer than
No,
that.
No, I understand.
Yep.
So that's why I think we should be ready to fund the entire project and then get reimbursed.
So I think really the only thing that wouldn't be exactly by the book, and it's a gray area, is that we did do an RFP to work with MSK and to work with, what's his name, I'm sorry, what's his name again?
Eric Teal.
Eric Teal, thank you. And the gray area is that we're continuing to work with him through a different organization, so technically our purchasing policy, I just want to be completely transparent. Technically, it would have called for another round of RFPs, but we are where we are. We've done this, we've talked about what needs to be done, we have the money saved, and there is a consistency of personnel and people working on it. Is that a good summary?
Basically an expert's opinion.
Right.
Because nobody
Right.
else
So-
will do it, so yeah.
So is that a good
Yes.
summary of the situation?
So
Okay.
I have one more question for Sean. It comes down to who would be the project manager for, overseeing the town's interests?
That's what I do.
Okay, so you would oversee.
That's what
Okay,
Bergeron
that's what-
Technical does.
I'm just asking, like, who's gonna actually be in charge of this project?
Because we are not, as I said, we have engineers, but we are
Yeah.
not engineering this project. We would be project administration.
Okay, that's what I'm asking, just who's responsible for the oversight and administration? Okay.
Does anybody else have any comments or questions?
I guess my comment would be, with the dam committee in place now, that we give them this along with all the state documents and see how it shakes out. Because that's what they're supposed to take, all the documents, and the state's inspection reports are missing. So I was just, that's my only concern, and then report to us what they find, what their thoughts are.
Madam Chair, question?
Yes, sir.
And any state reports, I didn't know. I've got plenty if you want them.
No, they have them already.
Okay.
Do they?
I think so.
Talk to me about the dam committee. Is it a DAM committee or DAMN committee?
Both. Right.
That's what I'm
It's,
thinking.
it's a group of local professionals that are, and residents that are willing to help sort out, read all of this and read all the state stuff, which I think they started
We
being
hire
forwarded,
Sean.
and then come together with their report for us.
Okay,
so that
I'm
we
gonna
have-
cut you short, Nicole. I'm not interested.
No, it's already in place.
Well, then I'm not interested.
Okay.
In what specifically?
He's not
Because
gonna do that.
I don't work,
Speak, please.
I've worked this project, and I go back through my list. I was a little bit forewarned about this. The first project that I did for the town of Madison was in 1997, that was the library. 1999, I did this building. Since then, I've done the dam project to date, the pedestrian bridge behind the highway garage, paving at the elementary school, roofing at the elementary school, HVAC in the school classrooms, HVAC in the gymnasium, without any committees. I've worked directly through the Board of Selectmen or through the school board. I don't need a group of unpaid professionals, and I'm not being sarcastic, but this is annoying, to oversee the work of paid professionals. So I'm out if they're in.
We've already appointed them.
Okay, then, all set.
I think in March.
Well, part of,
Well,
Sure.
to that end, I was contacted by a gentleman, Joy, you remember I sent you that email?
yes.
Who called me and said he was the chairman, and this was, I think it was in March. He was the chairman of the dam committee.
And I clarified that he was not, and the committee was
Right, at that
not.
point, he was the self-appointed chairman and I think self-appointed committee.
The committee, yeah, the committee hadn't met yet.
Right. Not interested.
Yeah. And he was asked to stand down. So I think part of the purpose of the committee was to get these answers that we got tonight. So, all right, I'm open to accept whatever motions folks wish to make on the matter.
I don't have a motion, I just feel like that having the committee gives us possibly, not known, a chance to save money and possibly a way to sell it to the town, because I don't see it passing the town meeting.
Don't see what passing a town meeting.
Raising $1 million+ for this, if we don't have, if we haven't dotted all our i's and crossed our t's and really tried.
I feel like this shows that we've crossed our i's and dotted our t's. I feel like this gentleman right here, giving us as much time as he has crossed our i's and dotted our t's. I feel like this here should never go to another company so they can see what needs to be engineered. So it would be completely unethical to take this and say, hey, give this to someone else. So then we're going back to square one, and we're gonna pay another $30,000+ to have these studies done again.
I don't think they should take it anymore. I think they should evaluate it and evaluate
Then
the
why did we
state.
pay Sean to evaluate?
I didn't know we were where we were. I'm just saying the committee's been formed, or is somebody gonna call them and said, oh, we changed our mind just tonight?
I'm just saying at this point, I'm not sure.
You can't actually do that, just let you know.
Yeah, so that was gonna be my motion, but
Sorry.
that's okay. My thought is, with all the information we got tonight from Sean, stating where we stand, everything that's gone through, and not working backwards and causing our timeline to get erased, I think it's in our best interest to move forward with having Sean contact, if that's how it would work, MSK or Turner, to move this project forward. That's my personal opinion. I'm not sure that the dam committee is gonna do a job near what this has been, and I'm not trying to slight them in any way, but with everything we have here, and we've paid to have it gone through, overlooked, seen, Sean's reported on it, MSK's reported on it, Turner's reported on it, how much more oversight do we need?
So I think there's two separate things. In my mind, the dam committee are not project managers.
Agreed.
Me too.
Agreed.
In my mind, they do not contact any vendors.
Me
They
too.
do not
I agree.
reach out. They report to the board and advise us. So if we have experts who wish to advise us on things, I'm willing to accept advice. But I'm also willing, I understand, yes, a million times, yes. So, can we move, but so, for example, Joe got involved and Joe potentially has this $1.2 million. Maybe somebody else with a different set of eyes, with a different something, sees something and can advise the board, I heard of this other grant, I heard of something else. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't mind the board receiving different perspectives and different input while we proceed as we have planned, while we have saved this money to proceed as is.
So the dam committee would be a funding committee at that point?
They would be advisory to us on information that we give them or that they obtain from town hall without contacting any vendors, without involving any vendors, without, if we have a group of citizens who are wishing to share what their different and varied expertise are with the board, if they have advice, I think that's a nice thing for them to do, and I'm willing to accept their advice while we do the project.
Is it worth losing Sean overseeing the
But
project?
Joy,
But they-
respectfully, if I may,
Yes,
if they provide their wisdom say to financing, okay, that's outside of my care, custody, and control. But if they start second guessing my engineering, then what do we do?
I don't think that was a review.
yeah, I don't,
Because at that point in time, I waste money trying to defend my work.
I don't see that as a reason for the committee. I think the committee is here to offer options to so that we can try to make sure that we go down the correct, we try to look at different ways to do things.
So maybe what you
so-
should do,
so-
if that's the case, you meet with your committee,
Mm-hmm.
ask them what the path forward is in comparison to this one, and then get back to me.
Yeah, like options. That's all we're looking for is options.
so, but I also think that when we get, again, kind of if we move forward with this $165,000 phase that has been planned, not signed, but planned, that happens. And then they can, they're meant to advise, they're not meant to be making decisions. They're just meant to bring expertise, professional information.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question?
Yes.
That's the committee of the church.
Have a what?
That's the committee of the former church. When you form a committee, your job is to charge them with a certain task, and that task has to be written and clear to you and to them what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, we haven't had that for any committees, except the budget committee that has a budgeting ordinance.
That's another of Robert's rules
Yep.
that Lucinda
Yep.
was talking about.
It is, thank you.
No,
All
going
right.
back to the
So-
formation of the committee real
Yeah.
quick. As Mr. Bergeron pointed out early, we were all new,
Mhm.
right? None of us knew the history going back, the work that Sean, MSK, and Turner had done to date. We didn't know, like, who was gonna run the project, that type of thing. So I think was kind of the roots of the committee, right? Get some smart people together, let's go back, look at all the documentation, that type of thing. And because we didn't understand Sean, right? We didn't know the history, that thing, and that type of thing. But, I don't know.
If I may, and honestly, I'm frustrated but not offended.
Mhm.
I think the thing to do, I have no problem with you stepping back a couple weeks. Nobody has to make a commitment here tonight. You step back from this, talk amongst yourself, talk with your committee, see what can be gained, what might not be gained, and then talk to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
For me personally, it was about moving in a direction of more community involvement in everything, because everybody wants to help and they just don't know how. And I think this is a great first step in having retired engineers and heavy equipment operators in this, sit in a room and say, hey, this is what,
All right. So
how we could help.
I think what Sean said is exactly perfectly right. What our
Yeah.
new friend Itzhak has said is absolutely perfectly right. That we have, did I get your name right?
Itzik.
Itzhak. Thank you for correcting me. Apologies.
See Lucia.
So I just want
Yes.
to tell you,
So, yep.
I was a parliamentarian.
Yeah.
So
I'm getting there. So my proposal is, I'm sorry, you were still talking, but yes.
Yeah.
That's where I was going.
No, I was a retired professor. I've been a parliamentarian for 33 years.
Yes.
So I know the stuff. That's
Yeah,
all.
thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to make a motion, or someone can make a motion to table this with the intent of speaking to the committee and doing exactly as Sean just said, defining their role. Being very specific and defining their role and seeing if it still makes sense.
Till next meeting or
Till-
when?
Till the next, well, we have to connect with the,
Yep.
so I guess
So-
indefinitely, 2 weeks? No, 4 weeks.
4 weeks, I would say 4
2
weeks.
meetings from now?
2 meetings from now.
Okay.
And if,
So may I make a suggestion? I think that you should give the committee a formal charge.
yes, that's what
You
we're
should
talking about
agree
doing.
on
Yeah.
what's the charge of the
Yep.
committee. Vote on the charge. and say,
Yes.
this is the charge.
Yes, we'll do that. All right, so I'll accept a motion. All
Table it till the
Table.
22nd?
I'll make that motion.
right, second?
22nd, I'll second. that.
Second, all in favor? Aye. All right,
Thank you for the reports.
thank you for all the things.
You're welcome.
Sean, I appreciate it,
You're
really do.
welcome.
Okay, and I believe you also own the next item.
So this is the plan and then the map.
Yes.
So that's their formal letter.
It's $50,000. It's the $1,000.
This is the land.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so this is on the,
On the power line.
yep, on the power lines, okay. Potential purchase of the town-owned property of the, now the reference
The
property
4
is,
acres. That one, yeah.
is the strip that the power lines are on. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Would you like the history on this, Joey?
I think we've talked about the history on this one quite a bit.
Interestingly, the town of Madison owns that property because it was taken by the town of Madison at tax auction a long, long time ago.
Interesting.
My client bought it, and I think they bought it for $800, I think, from the town of Madison. And this, again, this was forever ago. Excuse me, no, I need to back up. I'm thinking the wrong, yes, no, they're related. The town took that property at tax auction and has just maintained ownership of it. The town also took the property that my client owns at tax auction, I think about the same time, and bought that from the town of Madison for $800.
That 22 acres? Or-
Yes,
Yeah. the
22 acres that he thought he had access to, and not really.
And then he's been trying to get access through Banfield Hollow because it would be brief, and that's not been approved.
You've got it.
Okay. When was the last time you talked to Banfield?
It has been, let's see, before their annual meeting, the summer of 2025.
Oh. I know there are folks within there who would be fine with it, but it is.
We were not even allowed to, because we asked to attend the annual meeting and do a presentation, and
Yeah.
that door was closed hard.
I think we talked about one point inviting them to a meeting to discuss.
Is that since it was accepted as a town road?
Yes. The interesting thing, the problem is that we thought all we were gonna need was a driveway permit from the town of Madison. But there's this really weird situation in that when Banfield Hollow was laid out as a subdivision, they didn't survey that. They laid it out by deed description. So they intentionally left a gore of a 2-foot strip of land that we couldn't get across.
2 feet?
Yep, that's all it is.
Around the perimeter.
Town can grow.
So a driveway permit couldn't get us there.
Do we know who the previous owner was of the 4-acre strip?
I don't.
Okay, and that's, power lines are on it now?
The only thing that is there are the power lines.
Okay. Just trying to connect all the dots. Is that part of, like, when we lease out for, like, to the utility companies, are they paying us?
They have it right away.
Okay, so that doesn't affect us at all. Okay. Does the town have any interest whatsoever in keeping this, maintaining it? Like, it sounds like we just happened
To maintain it.
to get it because it was.
I think it'd be great to put it back on the tax map.
Joy, the town, in terms
we
of,
maintain
the town's never done anything to it.
Right.
The utility company, Eversource, is the one that goes through, and they have the John Brown Company every few years go through and mow it.
And they also spray it, because they put a little ad in the paper when they come through.
Yeah, I don't know if they spray that section or not, Nicole,
Oh, okay.
because there's significant wetlands on this
Oh,
parcel.
is there? Okay.
So even when it passes out of town hands into private ownership, the utility company would still have its right of way?
Oh, yeah, that easement goes in perpetuity.
It never goes away.
Okay.
Sean, is there any limitation from the utilities right of way as far as having a road constructed across that?
Road, well, okay, part of this, is working through this. If we can enter into a purchase and sale agreement, all those questions are gonna be answered. But having dealt with this on several occasions, in fact, they kind of enjoy things like roadways as long as they have clearance underneath their power lines, because that means that they're not gonna have to go through and remove the vegetation.
Right.
They don't mind that, but you can't build structures.
Right, right. Yeah, I knew structures, I didn't know about roads, how that worked.
You know, they, like my section over off Forest Pines, the fact that we maintain that and mow it, they just love it.
Yeah. Is the power line wide enough for a class 5 at some point?
Oh, that's a significant right of way through there.
Yeah, it would be wide enough for that.
Yeah, I wanna say that might be 110 feet or so, it's pretty big.
Yep.
And the owner's interest in it is to have a driveway?
As we say, we would actually make part of the agreement, it's a driveway to serve no more than 2 dwelling units on that parcel.
All right, we probably need to run this by Cordell?
Yeah, you have to send him to draft the agreement.
And you were, I think you had engaged an assessor, or appraiser?
An appraiser.
And it was?
It was actually, again, we actually went out to talk to several appraisers. And
That
they
was a
said,
struggle,
look,
right?
in order to do an appraisal, you have to be able to have comps. And show me another comp that is just burdened by wetlands and power lines
Right.
that somebody's interested in.
Right. All right. I think we changed it.
So the 2 lots would merge to 1.
That's correct. We just eliminate that boundary line
Yeah.
between the two.
All right, and that's a planning board function?
Yes.
Okay, and the planning board have you aware of this and looked at it?
I think that's part of the obtain all necessary state of New Hampshire, town of Madison, and other permits and approvals.
Yes. But first you have to accept the
Except they.
accept the money.
But just before, not my job to protect the property owner. However, it's you, as their advocate. So obviously they've done all the homework to know that they can merge the lots, and they can build the driveway and all, you know, all the zoning and permits and all of that.
Our analysis to date says that we can make this work.
Okay, so the ask for us tonight is what specifically?
The ask for you tonight would be to accept the offer of $40,000 contingent upon 1, 2, the 3 bulleted items within 2, and then it says the closing of sales shall take place within 4 weeks. Essentially, frankly, I mean, it protects, it allows my client and the town of Madison to enter into an agreement. That agreement contingent upon them being my client, being successful and being able to get the necessary permits and approvals to make this happen. Because we already know there's significant wetlands on that power line. We have talked with NHDES, and DES said it's highly likely they will permit us to pass a residential driveway through that, or through those.
I would request a motion to table it just for the 2 weeks, just so I can really think this through and digest it and see if any have other questions. Is anyone willing to make a motion to table it for 2 weeks? No?
I'm I guess, I mean, I would want to know how that would affect your situation, if that negatively impacts what your...
At this point, we'd like to, interestingly, we've been working on this is 2026, I think we've been working on this for about 6 years. I'd like to be able to get this thing moving forward.
Yeah,
Okay.
Off the bat, I don't see, and we're gonna go through Cordell, you
Yeah,
said?
it has to go through.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say
I would
heavily.
say, can we make a motion to, I don't wanna override your motion.
Nope, I didn't make a motion.
To accept it pending Cordell not finding anything.
There you go.
Is that fair?
I don't think there's anything unreasonable about that.
Okay.
I will second that motion.
Great.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go.
I'm gonna abstain because I would want more time to personally wrap my head around it.
Say
but
no, you mean?
I don't have enough information.
Abstention.
Is that a legitimate reason to
You can
abstain?
send this to Cordell?
Yeah.
But they said they didn't want to say either yes or no.
It's not.
Cordell to take a look.
Oh.
Yeah, and then he'll either give me comment with like any problems you may have with it, or
It's effectively
he'll
the same thing.
put the
Yeah.
agreement together and we'll send it to you.
That's fine. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
I think
Now the volunteer
Okay.
put the term in front of
All right, so next item, we're going into old business, restoration of involuntarily merged lots, 255 Brenner.
Brenner.
Broken out all my documentation. I was not here last week for the discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. I was not here for the discussion, so I am not up to speed on it. Somebody want to?
Did you get that documentation? Okay, yes.
Oh.
Hmm?
I haven't seen any of that. So, can somebody brief me on what the conversation, like where it landed last week?
That's you, last week's chair.
Yeah.
Or last meeting?
Yeah.
This is your guide.
Okay.
So here is so this was brought last meeting we had, I mean, we put it off so you guys could have time to look at it. And apparently you.
Just seeing it.
Right.
He'd come a few meetings prior as well.
Yes.
Okay, so the situation is that, if I understand it, that lots were involuntarily merged, but we're unsure who did it and by what authority they did it.
Correct. And I don't think
Do we
we
have that
found
answer?
any information that the town did it.
Where's that?
Okay,
That
so
Michael brought.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
if it was done by the town would then be the
What's that?
responsible.
Planning board came to address.
okay.
Okay. So, but if it was done by the town, the town would now be needing to
Authorized.
make a decision and
Unmerge,
to
okay,
unmerge.
correct.
If it was done not by the town, then it
So
wouldn't
if
come
it
to this
was
table.
done by the planning board, you can't do anything about it.
Okay.
If it was done not to the town's knowledge, you also can't do anything about it. But if the tax collector previously had merged it for tax collector reasons, then that's called an involuntary merger, and you have the right as the board to unmerge them.
Can you go get Mike?
So when were they merged?
2000.
It seems to look like it was around 2000 or 2001.
Mike had some information on that, and I don't know where he went with it.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, please.
When you have two non-conforming lots next to each other, owned by the same person or entity, they are often merged for tax purposes. But they don't go, they don't have to go through the planning board process to be legally merged. So when you say the town did it, you have to be more specific about what town entity did it. Was it the planning board or
The
assessment?
tax collector or
Tax-
something like
yeah.
that. Okay.
So I think you have.
I think Mike
Mike
has
still
it.
has
Yeah,
it.
Mike has found documents. I think it's also in that group of documents that somebody else had given at the last meeting. But
It's just a synopsis.
After the meeting 2 weeks ago, I was given a package of, and I'm not even sure where this came from, but Lucia emailed it to me, so I had trouble reading stuff on the screen, so I printed it. In the warranty deed from the Battersby individual husband and wife, they did a deed of warranty conveying all the property they owned into their trust, which a lot of people do to. And anyway, reading through that, it describes parcel 1, and we don't need to read that. But there's a paragraph between parcel 1 and parcel 2. And for the purposes of restrictions hereafter mentioned, it is understood that this parcel, meaning parcel 1, shall not be deemed a separate lot, but in addition to lot number 2, now or formerly owned by Robert D. Battersby, and being conveyed as parcel 2 herein below.
That's
So-
not this, that's not that parcel. It's the one across the street.
Okay, I haven't had a chance to look at, and I'm not a surveyor, and I haven't had the time, nor, I'm not gonna have the time until after July 9th, but this language here indicates that somebody affirmatively stated that these two lots, wherever they are not separate. They are together. I don't know what lots those are,
I'm not disputing that one.
but that is not an action of the town.
But if these aren't the same two lots, then.
No, bought three parcels. I think it's 51,
Do you guys have a map?
107, lot 51.
Thank you.
That's a lot and a half.
What, 72?
That was given by somebody else to me. With that package.
That deed you're referencing, that showed up in the 255 Brenner file. That's when I read that, it's like, that's not the right deed. If you read the description on that deed, it's for a totally different size lot. It's approximately the same square footage, but it's a different lot across the street.
What are the lot numbers? 71, 72.
Right, 71. And then the one across the street is 51. And that's a lot and a half that can't be separated.
Okay, so 51 was the one that was lot 1 and lot 2 in that deed that were
Right, it's actually
merged, okay.
11 and 12.
Mhm. All right, so then what, you're talking about a merger of 51 and 71?
No, it's just, Brenner Drive is in between the.
Right, right.
So there's, lot 51 is a lot and a half,
Mhm.
but it's on the opposite side of the street.
Yep,
70, lot 71 goes from Brenner to Idleways.
yep, I see that.
So the one he just described isn't the one I'm disputing,
So which one are you disputing?
71.
70
That one is 51.
Which is
Okay, right, so 71
currently 2.
was 2 lots that were merged into.
It's always been 2 lots.
Okay,
Put that right, that's lot 72.
Mark, do you have
Lot
something that sheds
72
your,
is the same.
that sheds light on? I'm looking. You got something in your hand?
what do you got?
Well, I can remember back in, which I can't remember doing that, but that doesn't mean it wasn't done. But it would seem that if the planning board had sufficient office so they could keep files and stuff like that.
Oh, jeez.
We're putting it on.
Careful,
And
you're sitting
not
right
work
beside her.
Not try to run 3 different organizations off of one desk. That it would be easier to research. Again, I think that was on that board up there. But yeah,
I don't see where
I
we
guess
did it.
someone could go search the minutes back to 71.
Well, it would be 2000, right?
I mean, not 71. Search them to 01. It wasn't, this
It was in
was
2000.
happened in 01. So you could go read the minutes from 00 and 01 and 02, and if you don't find it, it probably was not an action of the planning board.
Or an action of the town.
And that wouldn't
So
take all that long.
in this, it was, is it like,
It's
so
this
it's
one.
lot 55
Where's Idlewild?
in 2001.
Yes.
So it's this,
That map you got there?
one of them I have looks like it's,
Excuse me.
this became 51, right? Because it's skinny, long and skinny, long and skinny, long and skinny.
So this,
That's
that's
the-
this one there.
Yep, I circled it there.
All right.
This is
So
it.
that's right, yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
that,
you-
that one right there.
That's the one
Right,
and a
so
half.
this, right, so this is 100 feet long,
Yep,
and then it's 50 feet.
From here to here.
yeah.
Right, so so this parcel here and this parcel, they split the lot in half. One went to this side, one went to that
Yeah,
side.
but the merger you're talking about is this,
You got 2 separate lots.
the 71.
No, I'm sorry, not, I'm sorry, I missed it. 72.
71, 72.
No, not,
Just
70, just 72 is me.
Just 72?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's,
Because I'm looking at the tax, some kind of, oh, it looks like
So
a
it's
like a surveyor's map or something. So there's, it's 56 back then.
Yeah,
And it's,
It's not right, that's the thing, it's not.
that's me.
yeah, so it's 1 as of 2001.
See that?
I guess I gotta go, now I gotta go back and look at it.
That's 255 Burnt Drive.
The
That-
whole Idlewild plan that
You're trying to look at it upside down.
years.
That's the issue.
Burnt Drive.
It's not a big bridge yet.
Long part is.
So what is the ask of the board tonight?
Fix your assessors map.
it's not for a giant.
'Cause
To split them into 2?
no, it's on your maps. The only place this is one lot
Uh-huh.
is in this building. The registry, I got 3 deeds. I got 51 and 71. And so there's 2 lots in 71 that are separate, that never been joined.
Okay.
Survey right there.
Okay. So it is only in the assessing and tax maps of the town?
Right.
Okay,
So Cooper Cowgale researched the
okay.
deeds.
Mm-hmm.
So I got
Oh, sorry.
this,
You know,
that's all right. I got the lot and a half here, which Mike was talking about. They can't be separated.
Yep.
I'm not disputing that at
Yep.
all.
Mhm.
This one here is deeded, 64, and this one's not too far after that. This shows up on a survey of this property. They did, I forget the guy's name.
So it's already a half acre. Like the total is a half acre, so
Correct.
they'd go to quarter acre lots.
Right. So this is,
What buildings are on them now?
this one has a building on it.
What building is it?
It's a
House.
24 by 30 ranch,
Okay,
which I've already ripped down, get permits for,
okay.
rebuilt it on the same location,
Mm-hmm.
and then the septic is all in and done.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I have a permitted septic for that one already.
So you're looking to make them two separate buildable
Correct.
lots?
Right. In this building. Because I said everywhere else except in this building is 2 separate lots.
And do we have copies for the deeds there?
But the only way we can do it without you going to the planning board is if the town did it for
Well,
tax
just
purposes.
it goes, it's basically
My understanding.
the state mandates that you have to vote on it. So whether you vote to approve or deny, the next thing I go from here is to ZBA. And then same thing, you have to prove that somebody in the chain of title merged it. Somebody in the chain of title removed that line.
Well,
And it-
You're saying you think the town did it?
assessing.
You think the assessor-
Yeah.
Have we talked to Avatar?
Avatar?
I mean,
They're the assessors.
company.
They're the
Oh, the
assessing
assessing,
They weren't here.
no,
back
that
then,
was
were
done a
they?
long time before
Yeah, this was
that.
Okay.
before then.
Would they have historical records?
I don't think they do it.
No,
Michael,
So that's
The
the
town
deeds for all three,
records.
right?
Were you a selectman back then? 2000? We can throw liquor back out that way now.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. I lose track of time,
No.
probably.
But without it saying that we did it,
It's only in this building, so somebody in this building did it.
So what's preventing you from doing what you need, doing your,
I can sell this other lot tomorrow.
okay. Edelweiss doesn't have any restrictions on lot size?
That's not our list.
Oh, okay.
Brenner's not on
Okay. Because the town has, we have a 2 acre restriction, right?
Unless it was pre-existing non-conforming.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's the footprint of the setbacks, the legal area that I can build is on that plan.
So my
In that
confusion,
That envelope.
maybe Mike knows, I understand that we have the authority to vote on this, but if we're trying to prove something, is it our duty to try to prove it, or is it the property
I
owners
believe it falls to the property owner.
to bring,
The burden's on
like
the,
to look at the
the burden's on the
minutes or?
selectmen.
It is?
Not to
Per you-
prove it.
No.
Per your application says it's burden on you guys.
Because if we're unsure and there's digging to be done, I just want to know
Well,
who's
because
got to
if
do the
if the planning
digging,
board
you
did it,
know?
we can't undo it.
Yeah, if the planning board did it, you know.
And if it was done outside of the town office, we can't undo it.
Yeah.
So,
The only way we can undo it is if it was done for tax purposes in our building.
Yeah, I understood
So-
that. I was just wondering who has to bring the proof to that.
what does the deed say? What does the current deed say for this lot?
What does it say?
Yeah,
It's 2 separate lots.
so there are 2 separate deeds for the 2 separate lots.
Right, and that's all this chain of title all the way back.
do we have those?
Yeah, there's somewhere in there.
Okay.
Just a lot of stuff.
Yeah, if we have the 2 deeds, that makes sense. But if we don't see the 2 deeds, that's where it gets.
But we also have to
muddy.
decide to figure out who
Did it?
in the town did it.
Yeah.
Because again, if planning did do it, we
don't have the
cannot undo it.
authority, Yeah.
So do we have Mr. Town Clerk or?
More unlikely that.
Yeah. Yep. No, but these situations, like, this didn't happen in 2001, it happened before that. We had computers in 2001.
Sounds like we didn't have until 2005.
No, they did, the town, the selectmen, whoever was assessing, and frankly, it was when the selectmen were assessing. They were going out with clipboards and those handwritten manila cards that they wrote on in pencil, that we still got them in the folders. That's when this stuff happened, because if they could merge those jointly owned properties together, we have less pieces of paper we have to.
It's true, less to track.
And that's why they did it.
Hank would never do that.
Well, it didn't just happen, it happened enough in the state of New Hampshire that this was a statewide push to undo these things that the landowners didn't participate in. And the hard part for me is, and I don't want to sound like I'm disputing you, I don't know your property like you do. With the technology that we have, how can we possibly have two deeds and one map, one lot on a tax map? Because somebody's antenna should have gone up in, especially if you haven't just gone through a reval, to make sure all of our records and everything are accurate. The tax maps are included in that. I mean, right now we're talking, I can't remember the map number, but it's probably on here and I just can't read it. But lot number 71 shows one lot. Somebody should have picked up that.
Well, it's not, yeah, that it's two.
That there's two descriptions and asked some questions and figured out why we have two parcel descriptions if we've only got one lot. Why is that?
So when I was researching it to buy it, I pulled a file. And the description you said, that was in that file. And I talked to, I think Linda, at that point. It's like, this is the wrong deed. You have the right deed. And I went from there to the registry and pulled Battersby's whole thing. And all the three separate deeds showed up, and that one described as the not being separable. That was what was in the file. So I can understand it. I think, and if they read that, they thought it was one deed.
There 3 tax bills?
There should be 3 tax bills.
But have there been 3?
No, when I bought it, I said there's supposed to be 3 tax bills. This is 3 separate parcels. But it
here
didn't go
it shows
anywhere.
one, or two, 71 and 50.
This was Dick Lasky's old place?
Excuse me?
This was Dick Lasky's old place?
I'm sorry.
This was Dick Lasky's old place?
I'm half deaf.
Sorry, Dick Lasky. I'm seeing Richard Lasky.
So Lasky's the one who did the lot and a half.
Okay, yeah.
So-
He said his, didn't he have his like train shop across the street in his garage? Anyway, memories.
Right, so he did,
Many years ago.
he owned a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
So he
he did.
owned
They called him the mayor.
70,
Balduck's in here.
he
All
owned
right.
70,
Balduck's in here.
Yeah.
he owned 72,
A lot more than
and then he originally owned the lot that Battersby bought.
Yeah.
And then the half lot that Battersby bought, he actually owned. So I think he owned
I would be
all
free
of
to
these.
make a decision without all the information, I suppose. That's the one thing.
Michael,
So
what would this do if we do this to taxes? Do you have to go back on taxes? Or it's a separate lot?
You guys would have to,
Because there's taxes due, right?
right, no, you would have to if you did this, you'd have to talk with Chad and whoever his mapping people are that do the tax maps, get that done, and then you would have to give me a new warrant, a supplemental warrant for property taxes on the new lot that you're creating, because right now it doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist here.
Right.
But he has 2 deeds.
Right.
So it does exist
If
somewhere.
you took action and separated these, you'd have to provide the mapping company with the descriptions that they changed the maps to. And then, actually, you'd probably have to they'd have to work out some kind of formula as what the difference would be. Because right now, he's holding a tax bill, one tax bill for 2 lots.
Right.
His argument.
Yep.
So somehow, some way, it would need to be figured out, what would be the difference between the taxes that you've already committed to me for the 1 lot, if you divided it in 2, what would the difference be? If it is a difference and not a wash, then you'd have to give me a supplemental warrant that I can import and provide a supplemental bill.
So what do our tax collector records say, going back? Like, at what point was it 2 lots tax collector wise?
To be honest with you,
No way to know.
I wouldn't have any idea.
But we physically have them in the building forever, right?
Yeah, but I mean, what I meant to say was, it's been this way forever. Going back, and I can't go back far enough, absent going back in the archives. But the tax collection doesn't really matter. What you need the assessment is where the issue happened. The tax collector doesn't change property boundaries at all.
So if we pulled a tax map from the 1990s, would that show us if it was 2?
No, it's gonna show you 1. I've looked at them all upstairs.
That's what we're asking, yeah, that's what kind of.
That's what he's saying. He's saying that in this building, all the tax maps say it's 1, but everybody else says that it's 2. So that's kind of what you're trying to figure out.
When did they change from the previous map to the current one?
Don't quote me, but sometime in the 90s.
Yeah, because the parcel that says 255, that tax, I think the tax map is like 5.
We can go back as far as to before the conversion, and it's 1 lot. That gets you back into the early 90s, based on the paper files that we have upstairs. Joy, you won't be able to see it.
It's small.
On
It's
that,
small.
it's so small. You'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
lucky if you could tell you were on
Did you
Brenner
try doing
Drive.
this?
I could tell it was on
small.
Drive.
It's not that we don't want to help you. I just
No,
don't
trying
want
to
to
figure
undo
out
something
how.
if we're not allowed to do
Right.
it. And then we'll be in more trouble than they are with the dam committee. So, I know we keep seeing pushing you off, but I just don't know how we can make that decision without a little more knowledge, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not speaking for everybody here,
I'd
but
recommend you engage at Avatar and get their help,
That's what I was gonna say.
and whatever mapping company, whoever has the authority to talk
just
to the mapping company and that we use and try to figure it out between those 2 entities.
Yep, and even if Avatar wasn't the assessor then, they might have historical records.
Yeah.
And what did the title company say?
Presumably, did they go
I
off
have
the
title
deeds?
insurance on 3 lots.
Because they went off the deeds?
So it's their problem.
Well, yeah, well, if
I
it
mean,
comes
we're
down
off the
to.
deeds, yeah.
You have,
But
you
no,
have
so
title insurance.
I have
on-
title insurance. I'll buy anything out with title insurance. So the title company's gonna come and they're gonna go, no, you have clear title.
Warranty. Warranty?
Yeah, I've had. So,
So title company did research then?
That's what title companies do.
Right, so their research
So if you have
shows,
title insurance,
yes.
the research
It
shows,
said it's Cooper Cargill did it.
yep,
So I bought it through, they represented the estate.
yep,
So, as I said, I have insurance on all 3 lots.
yep. And the title showed
Yeah.
3 lots,
Yeah.
okay. I think that we should contact Avatar to see what historical evidence that they have. I think that we should research our property tax records to see if that's when the change happened. Those are the only two possibilities that could have changed this. Is that what we've narrowed it down to? It only could have been assessing wise and tax map wise?
It could
No?
be planning
Yeah?
board.
The tax map and assessing are the same exact thing.
Okay.
Could have been a planning board did it. We don't know. We just don't
But
know.
if it was back in the 90s,
So are there minutes from the 90s or are there?
I'm sure there are minutes.
Yeah.
But you'd have to sit down and read minutes, because you don't know what you...
Minutes for days.
Can you?
Minutes for hours, minutes for hours.
Unless it's scanned in and you can search it, but I don't think they're scanned in.
I agree with Joy that they should be engaged. I'm wondering if we should facilitate the engagement between, I'm sorry, what's your last name?
Cotter?
Mr. Cotter and Avatar, so that he's able to do, so it goes through the right way. He's supposed to bring all the proof and then we make the decision, rather than us doing the research, because that's the way it's been explained to us. So just kind of facilitate that connection so that he can then present the information. I mean, that's the way it's been explained to us, that who's supposed to be in charge of the burden of proof. I don't know if you guys agree or not. That's just my suggestion, so that you can have access to them and
I'll accept a motion to,
facilitate. I'll make a motion to help Mr. Cotter facilitate through Avatar the documents that might help us get to the next stage. If that makes sense.
No, that's fair.
so second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Jake? You guys are a no? Okay. All opposed?
I'll say no.
Okay. Jake opposed? Abstain?
Yeah, I'm just abstain, I suppose. I'm struggling.
Yep.
Alright.
Okay.
Passed.
Yeah, I'm in right.
And hopefully he'll get the answers he needs from the
Are the
assessing.
minutes available?
We will find out.
Planning board minutes?
Should
Written? What, I mean, way back? Is there like a ring folder that's got,
Yeah, we can look into it.
or do you have to get into the vault that's...
It's probably
Maybe
full.
Avatar.
But the public
Something
can
like that.
access that.
But in that
so
stuff
it's-
wasn't
Need more hot water.
the
There's no
public has
index
access to
on
all
that.
that stuff.
I have no
Avatar
idea.
may have some records.
Well, which is fine, Charlie.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
At least
Nothing personal.
Yeah.
No, hemp chat, take a look.
But they might have to be more specific
That's
as to
what
what.
records.
All right.
Yeah.
Again, mine's more just, I don't want to go and do something we can't do, so.
All right. I don't know in what order they were in. They got a binder clip.
No,
No, they ended up with a full binder clip, didn't they?
No, that
No,
was
they had a paper clip.
Bergeron's.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all, I think that's all
Back in
Mr.
there.
Cotter stuff anyway.
Okay, welcome back.
That's all it is.
All right.
Yeah,
I
but,
See what I did there? See what I did there?
I almost
mind
did.
doing
I knew
research.
somebody else
Different.
would get it. K with a K, yep.
He's a C.
Yeah.
This is?
That's, yeah, I think that's all Bill.
All right. No, somebody gave some of that to,
Yeah, at the end of the meeting, that one.
Oh.
See, you
that
had
you were-
those
Suzanne
stats.
Oh, that was
Lacy?
right.
That was from somebody else.
Give it.
pass it back.
And
Okay.
it was unsigned.
All right, so next item. All right, next item, selectmen's lists. Anything? Nothing?
Other than
Doesn't
to,
have
the
Okay.
same thing, to the vacation thing next time.
All right, so on my list, the advisory budget committee meetings, we received legal advice that,
Thank you, Bill.
thanks. We did receive legal advice that the Board of Selectmen does not have the authority to cancel budget committee meetings. The recommendation is to perhaps update the ordinance to clarify budget season, budget cycle, and that there's nothing in the ordinance precluding a chair from serving multiple terms. They just, per the ordinance, serve a one-year term. Any questions? Okay. Next item, Historical Society tree trimming removal. They had, I guess, a maple or two that wasn't doing so well. Dylan left. So they had submitted a proposal, I think it was $600 or something, to do the trimming and removal.
Oh, there they are, right there.
Hey. Hey, Dylan. We have just following up the Historical Society trimming and removal. Everything
Yep.
look good?
Yep.
All right. So with that, I guess the question is, does that fall under like general government buildings maintenance, or because I think the Historical Society
Is its
expendable
own-
trust fund is for the building,
Okay.
right? Because I reread the warrant article, and that's what it seemed like to me was specific to the building.
Just have to be worked out between the two of us
Okay.
of where we'll land.
Okay. Okay. All right, and then the town emails came up very briefly earlier. Thank you. The town emails came up briefly earlier. We have about one unused one. It's VSC for Veteran Services Committee. I don't think there doesn't seem to have been like a single email that's ever gone into it. So Lucy and I were talking about potentially asking Alpine what it would cost to add another however many. Tia's asking for one, Mad TV is asking for one. Might be helpful for a department head to have an individual one. So, just some thoughts.
Well, we're looking into going to the .gov as well,
right.
so it's something that might need to be placed on hold for the
Yep.
moment, just until we have more information.
Yep,
You
fair
meet
enough.
with them Wednesday, right?
Yep.
Thursday.
Thursday. Day off.
Well, it's almost Wednesday.
Getting closer.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, that's all I had.
I
Your
don't have
list?
anything.
Jake? Joe?
I wouldn't say no
Administrator?
anyway.
Nope.
Well, I have that late abatement. We got Cordell's advice on, but I don't know if you want it in a non-public or not.
I would say yes.
Probably should.
I think we should.
Okay.
Non-public,
Yeah.
I think it started in
It was a
Yeah.
non-public
Okay.
discussion.
All right.
And then I think you have Chief next.
Department heads. Chief Hayford.
You should have a copy of this draft suggested regulations for police detail service, I think. Essentially, right now, we are, for our detail rate for police services, it's $75 for an officer and a cruiser. That's if we do a detail for Eversource on the road, if we go out of town for someone else. Right now, I think it's maybe a couple dollars more than what the overtime is for like Jake, Tessa, Josh. A lot of other towns around us have already adopted increased amounts. I think state police is 105. Conway moved to 90, I think. Ospey is 100. I'm proposing that we move to 95. Puts us kind of in the middle. The officer would get 70, and the town would take 25 for the cruiser maintenance and administrative fees and whatnot. The only reason I'm asking to have it put out down as a town regulation is because technically you're fobbing us out to these other towns and agencies and setting how much you're going to charge for our services, and I just don't want to arbitrarily do it myself and have someone come and ask, why was it this much and now it's this much and now it's this much. That's basically all this is. I'll follow up a bunch of other things on here. I'll have, if we need services in town and I can't fill them. Today we had one. Jake came out a little early so Eversource could try to put a poll in. If I'm not able to fill it with a Madison officer, I'll put it up to the rest of the county to see if they're able to have someone do it. You'll allow me to send officers out to other agencies if they need to fill details, or if I want to send, if someone wants to go down to Loudon to fill a police detail down there, it just gives me the authorization to do that.
Do we need a public hearing for a change in fees? Lucia?
So policy,
Because if we're changing a fee that we charge to people.
Well, we charge
Is it a
companies.
change or a new?
It's a
It's
change.
an increase,
I,
right?
I looked back and the last policy that I could find anywhere near this was something that John Pickering did in 2006 maybe, and he just said, this is how much we're gonna charge. And it hasn't changed in 20-something years.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And is it $95 per hour?
Yes.
It's 95 per hour with a 4-hour minimum, and there's other
Now,
stipulations.
what happens if they don't want a cruiser?
So we would just bill out for the officer,
Just the
not the
70
car.
then?
Yep. So like I think Jake did he did a wedding in Effingham a couple years ago, and most times we just send him with a car. He's going in uniform, and I don't think many people don't want the car, because if there's an incident and we need to put someone in the car, at least we'll have it. Generally, these are, if it's an event, usually is accompanied with alcohol, or if the potential for riffraff, if someone needs to go and that officer is there to keep the peace, then they are exercising the powers and duties and they need the car. So very rarely, like Loudon, you don't need a car unless you're at an intersection. I think if we went to Bank and H Pavilion, you don't need a cruiser there. But we're just, if we do take a car, we're just using it for transportation. We're not billing them for using it. This basically is when the car is running,
Yes.
performing its, with lights to that effect. So
I mean, if you're going to Loudon or Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion in a town car, shouldn't 25 at least cover gas and maintenance?
You don't set those rates though?
and yeah,
Loudon,
those
Bank,
those
they-
agencies they pay you their
They
rate.
pay you their rate?
Yeah.
So,
But I'm not going to send an officer down to an in uniform in a private vehicle.
Right.
We just basically eat that amount.
Okay. Can't just bundle it. Okay.
I'm not sure about the public hearing, but you could, if you wanted to accept this, you could just say, whether or not we have to have a public hearing.
Okay. All right. And this is basically anyone can hire a detail.
Anyone can request us for police services here.
Okay.
And this is just what I suggested based on some of the other regulations that I did some research on. And feel free to change it. I can send the Word doc to Lucia if needed.
This works for me.
okay.
Is this anything that, it's not town regulation, town ordinance? Does it need to go through any formal approval process except by the board?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think
could
we can
check.
adopt it.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to adopt it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I'm gonna make one more to sign this out of session, so you can get the real one done, date it, and so can you get that done tomorrow?
I can do that, yep.
Okay, so
Well,
I'll,
Pending
pending we don't
public
have to
hearing.
have a test
Yeah.
out
Right.
down here.
But
But-
I'll take a second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You get it done, Jim will sign it.
Sure.
All right.
The only other thing I have is I came across an issue at the boat ramp as far as launch permits.
I get a call on that.
Yeah. That's my only copy. All that is boat hull numbers, which are attached to a removable placard. With on the back is the launch permit that Winnisquam Marina was using to do water tests on boats.
Were they delivering?
No.
Okay.
They backed the boat in, did a couple laps around the lake, power loaded it, and I caught them as they were coming off the water. My only issue with that is that, and I feel they're kind of taking advantage of the policy or the ordinance. Those permits for launching are specific to a boat, an actual boat. They're using it to effectively as a
Trailer license.
well, as a dealer plate, essentially.
Yeah.
They can do that, but they're using our permit assigned to that bow number to basically launch however many dozens of boats. I don't really have an issue if they're doing it for a resident.
That's right, that's what I was under the understanding.
But when they're water testing a boat, I mean, they could do 10 a day, and they're using just a $100 permit. I don't know if we need to do like a commercial permit for them. I talked to Rick Morgan down there. He said they want to be good neighbors. You know, I don't, aside from telling them, you know,
Yeah.
they can go somewhere else to do their water tests, and the only other place is Ossipee Lake, and they have to go out a channel either way to get to it. So this is the perfect spot for them because the boat ramps on open water. They're in and out real quick.
But they need to stop power loading because they're damaging at the end of the ramp. You know, they're blasting all the sand and gravel out of there, and the trailers are dropping off the edge.
So this is basically the equivalent of taping a dump sticker to a dashboard
Or
and then
just-
moving it from
or
car to
just-
car.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
they're damaging the ramp.
I think
They're
they have a
willing to
commercial
pay.
permit.
They're willing to pay more. I don't. You know, like I said, if we need to offer, you know, $1,000 commercial permit for them to come down and water test boats,
Because I actually got a call on this, and if they're launching a residence boat to have moored out there, that's not an issue as far as I'm concerned. You know, but if they're doing commercial testing, then I have a little bit of a problem with it.
yeah, I think they're taking advantage.
Yeah,
Of
because,
Easy in, easy out. Yeah.
And they're not allowed to power load right there, right?
well,
Oh, there's a sign.
There's a
There's a
sign.
sign right there.
That no one
You
reads.
can see it right out of your side view mirror when
Yeah.
you're backing your boat in.
Yeah, but it's wrecking the end of the
Mhm.
ramp.
Oh,
To
yeah.
be fair, I have stood there and watched Marine Patrol power load.
Wow.
To be fair.
All right, so if we if we're okay with them doing it, we do a commercial permit, it would just be a matter of how much and a public hearing for a fee.
Right.
Yep.
Or we tell them, you know,
for now,
Buy-
resident,
buy 9 more.
Yeah.
And, you know, but we'll know that what they're doing because they'll have multiple different passes. Or you put something on there that says, you know, Woody Marine, just so we know. We're the only ones that check, so.
Yeah.
How many do you think they're doing?
I bet they do. Now they're probably not doing so much because if you drive by the marina, all their boats are out.
Yeah.
But they're still, when they do a repair, they take it down to the lake and they test it and bring it back to the shop, put it all back together, and the owner comes and picks it up. I bet they're doing at least a few a day right now.
Like,
And back earlier in the season, you could drive by. I mean, they're doing a dozen a day probably.
okay.
And it's a short season, so boating season, unless they get a broken
Yeah.
down boat.
all right. So what do you guys want to do? Commercial permit?
Well, we'll definitely have to have a hearing on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad idea, though.
It's not a
Yeah.
bad idea,
No.
100%.
I mean, they have made donations to us in the past,
Yeah.
to our boating program, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
They want to be good stewards and good
Right.
neighbors.
Mhm.
But let me know. I can call Rick and tell him that, you know, that you're proposing something. And whether or not we do it this year or next year, I don't think it matters.
They're
So-
just gonna pass it on to the person. who owns it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
gonna
what the
go on
cost
the
goes.
repair bill.
Yeah, beyond the owners.
Yeah, water test.
Yeah.
$15.
Yeah.
So kind of like this, and back to the police detail. Do those go into the general fund? Like
Yes.
their
Yes,
fees?
everything
Everything
should.
So
goes
does the
back
police
into the
detail
DB.
go into the general fund?
The police detail goes back into the general fund, and a little bit gets put back into that police detail line to keep it at 1,000,
Okay.
because it has to be paid out of some line.
Okay. All right. Anybody want to make a motion? Have a public hearing?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to
Yeah.
have a public hearing as far as commercial boat permitting
Fees.
fees.
Yeah, fees, yes.
I'll second it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
When are you doing said hearing?
Well, I'm looking at the calendar.
How much time do we need? 2 weeks?
Yeah. Well, do you want to do it at the next
It'll
one?
be the
Can we-
23rd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would
We have
be
time
fast.
to post, or is it 10 days for a public hearing?
No, it's already posted because it's at a regular meeting.
Okay.
Do you want your pictures back?
I can keep it.
Okay. All set? All right. Mr. Director.
I'll be quick. We've got the swim lanes out at the foot and the head of the lake. We made the foot bigger, the swim area longer.
You,
We got some grief on that, but, so you may hear something about it as well.
from boat owners? Or
No, from property owners around it,
Oh.
saying that it encourages the little kids to swim out farther, and so, just a heads up.
Okay, we can explain that
Rear
the
deck
depth,
and rear head.
the depth has
Swim
been an
lines
issue.
are not out at Nichols Beach yet,
Okay.
because I'm still waiting on them to get here.
Okay.
So hopefully this week, I don't know. And chip sealing is gonna be starting June 24th. And that'll be on Colby Hill, Peak Vista, East Madison, Pound Road, Danforth Lane, Greenwood, Heritage. I believe that's it.
Thank you.
That's it.
Was there still a pile of mess on the head of the lake beach there? Waverly
Yes,
Beach?
yeah, yeah.
That we gonna contact that company that took it? They've left a big mess
I
on the
would
beach.
contact the homeowner.
All the leftover stuff from the tree is still
Oh,
sitting
it's
on the
still-
tree.
is
Yeah,
it?
it's in the
The
left.
debris is.
That, I
but
think
it's on the
that falls
fence.
on the homeowner either way.
But yeah, but it's still on the beach.
They live here in the summer, so I'm sure they're gonna be showing up at any time.
Okay.
Do you want to contact them again, or do we want to let it come from officially from town hall?
It doesn't matter to me. I just,
You've been
like I
talking
said,
to them,
they're
yeah.
about to get out of school. They're gonna be moving in the next 7 to 10 days anyway.
Okay.
They're gonna see it.
Yeah, hopefully they pick it up.
Okay. All right. So you'll contact them?
Yeah.
Okay. And thank you for taking care of the East Madison near Gilman Cemetery where the sand underneath was kind of starting to give way. Thank you. Looks a lot safer. Ms. Brooks?
Well, tax bills have been out. We're approaching 20% collection, so it's about standard for as that goes. I met with the contractor for the point of entry treatment systems last Thursday, and we visited all 6 properties. He drew water samples to make determinations on other contaminants, not PFAS, because they have to make an analysis on what impact the water quality is going to have on the planned filtration.
Did you share the results that we took already?
Yep.
too?
Yep. I just lost my train of thought. No, I'll get back to you in 2 weeks.
Oh, no matter what. You met with water techs, they took pictures of houses.
Didn't he find others?
What's that?
The testing, didn't he find others?
Well, no. The spring water tests that we did resulted in 2 more positive tests that had already tested positive before. 2 places that we were already supplying drinking water to. So while he was here, he visited all of the properties. Now what he owes me, and I haven't got yet, probably because he's waiting for his water test, he thought it would take 2 weeks, is he's got to give me a proposal on those 2 new systems for the properties that we hadn't planned on. It's going to be a simple change order with DES, but I have to have the proposal first that I can submit as a change order to the existing, what they've already agreed to basically fund the 4 systems. Now it's 6. Good Lord willing, and everything lines up as best that it possibly can, all 6 systems will be installed the last week of June.
Perfect.
Nice.
Which is approximately 2 weeks from now.
Awesome.
Good, like I say, good Lord willing,
Right.
and the only hang up right now is getting the test results back from the lab and what they say, if that hampers anything. But I did get a lot of good information from him as far as how this process is gonna work. Per the document that we put out that the DES approved, the first 12 months is gonna be basically quarterly testing, because they really don't know until we get some data. So they'll test every 3 months to see
For the breakthrough.
what
happens.
everything is, and if they can identify a breakthrough point, it just gives them the opportunity of establishing an interval. And he just said, this guy's been doing this a lot. He's all over the state, DES contracts with them. He said, after that first year, we should have a pretty good idea of what the interval is. And then, he said, a lot of times in my experience, it's at least a year that you get out of that filter. And he just said, we'll just come in and you, like servicing your car, if you only drive it 2 or 3 times and park it, well, you're gonna change the oil every year.
Right.
Once a year, so. He said, we'll just swap out that first filter, rotate the second one in, put the new one behind it as the backup. Because that backup really doesn't do anything
Unless there's
as long as
breakthrough.
everything works.
Right.
So,
Does he have room, like he's, for properties that have the contamination, he's already knows that he's gonna have room to put a pre-filter onto the system and all
yeah,
that?
we
Yep.
visited everything right now, and he's in charge. The state has approved his system design, and that's what he's gonna install. And he did talk to specifically about, with the individual property owners, whatever their water shows, if something else is required, he'll talk to them about making sure that that works. But he's gonna put, a few of them had sediment filters, but they were small ones. He recommends a bigger one, because every bit of crap you can filter out of the water before it goes into the carbon filter is better for us.
And is that covered under the grant, the additional sediment filters?
Yep.
Excellent. Couldn't remember. Yes?
I have a question about the fire department, filter system. Where did they test? Will they test town hall water, the library water, and the fire department water, or just the fire department water?
Well, it's all the same water to start with. It's only
Correct,
one
but
well.
the pipes that goes through and all that.
Well, that's the unknown. The plan that has been adopted is the testing is gonna happen right at the system. There's gonna be a check before, in the middle, and after. There's gonna be test cogs. So the first place they're gonna test, once they get the system in, is they're checking for breakthrough from the first filter. And obviously they'll be testing. We're requiring it every 3 months in all those places. The assumption is, according to, I'm no geologist or anything like that, but this stuff doesn't cling to the piping. It's not in the piping, it's in the water. And we're talking about parts per trillion. These are probably microscopic, it's too big. From what I've been told, there's no concern that they're stating with the piping. As long as on the outside of the second filter, they've got 0, clean as a whistle. In their professional, they've done their job.
So the filtration system's going in the firehouse as the first point of entry from the town well into a building?
Right, treating all the water coming out of the well before it goes out anywhere. And he did say that it's gonna cost a little bit more, but he's gonna design a bigger filters in the fire station, because number one, we got room for it. And number two, more
Serves
filters.
4
If the
buildings?
little filters
Right,
are
you're doing all
good, the
that
bigger
building.
ones are better.
Exactly.
And he said right now you don't know exactly what it's gonna take. Like, there's no real definitive amount of water usage that we can demonstrate, other than gallons, but that's, the number of people affected is very difficult sometimes. You can get a lot of gallons by washing every single fire truck. You're using a lot of water. It doesn't mean there's a lot of people affected. So anyway, he's gonna design bigger filters. It's gonna change the cost of that system a little bit, but he said you'll make out better in the long run because it'll last longer.
Do we know how many people are affected, because we count people using water at town hall, people using water at the fire station, people using water at the library? And you know how many patrons go in and out? Patron counts. That's one thing I saw, but it's already gone out of my head. All right. Library?
Nothing really to report except summer reading starting for anybody who's watching online. June 25th is our kickoff. I do have one question about the .gov. Is that going to be also, will that also include the library, or is that just town hall?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay, all right, let me
I'll
know.
let you know.
Okay.
Asia, anything from Mad TV?
I guess just a question while we were talking about water, was the water at the lower garage completed? Like, yeah, there's a filter.
You can't miss them. If you walk in,
They're right there.
6 feet tall. 4 of them.
Okay.
Asia, quick question. How
Yes.
is that air conditioner keeping your equipment cool on a hot day like this?
It is for now. I think when we get into consistent hot weather and the nights are not cooling off like they have been, it might not work as efficiently, but I'm actually monitoring the temperature in there, so I'll keep an eye on it.
That's in a safe range for your equipment though?
For now,
Okay,
yep.
all right, that's good.
All right,
Thanks for asking.
all right, signature items.
All right, you have, this is approved by Cordell. It's the lease agreement with
Community garden.
community garden.
Department heads first next time.
Yes.
Yay.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank Lucia.
Okay, and then, oh, you have to do these first.
Sure you want to sign that for the end,
Oh, adding to signature items,
The volunteers.
volunteers for farmer's market. Do we have to make a motion to appoint? These are the 2 volunteers for the farmer's market.
Okay.
Since I said it.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
I'll accept a motion to appoint Chris Gagnon and Tia Gagnon as rec volunteers for the farmer's market.
So motioned.
So,
Second?
second.
All there?
Aye.
Yeah.
And it looks like, actually, I think Mike signs that part of it. As
He
town
swears
clerk.
it in.
Possibly.
Yeah, I think Mike signs
You
that.
guys are the oath of office.
Those rec ones are weird, like anything else.
Sign that before
Sign that.
I give you this. Cordell approved. It's just for insurance purposes.
This is for the community garden. Thank you.
Bring in.
Lucy, did we get a copy of the community garden insurance certificate?
They have to send this before we can
Okay,
get it.
all right.
That's why we're doing it.
Just to make sure that it says town of
Yeah,
Madison.
just happy to
Okay.
sign it, actually.
Okay, we're gonna move through this quickly.
Okay.
Can you read it?
Yes. Hello, Select Board. I am writing to resign my position as Town Treasurer, which I have held these past 2 months effective me. I would like to return to serving as Deputy Treasurer and look to be reappointed at the Board's convenience. I will come in to be sworn once the reappointment occurs. I will await notification. Thank you, Tammy Flanagan.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you,
Thank
Tammy
you,
Flanagan, for
Flanagan.
stepping up to be our treasurer for 2 months. Muchly appreciated. To whom this may concern, please accept my letter of resignation for the position of Town of Madison Deputy Treasurer, effective immediately. Sincerely, Nancy Martin. Thank you, Nancy
Thank
Martin,
you, Nancy.
Thank you
for
for
serving
filling
as
in.
our temporary Deputy Treasurer. Do we-
Alright.
Do we have to vote to accept? They just resigned. No, we don't.
No, you don't have to vote to accept this.
Okay. We now have to appoint, we have a oath of office to appoint Christine Richardson as our new town treasurer. We all met with her. She's spectacular. And very lucky to have her. So make a motion to appoint.
Yep.
I'll accept a motion to appoint Christine
Motion.
Richardson as our new town treasurer. Jim motions. Joe seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, aye.
Please sign.
Please sign. Immediately.
She's showing up at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Better sign it.
She's not that picky about my signature, really.
We need to get her right away. We got a lot of stuff to catch up on.
Okay,
Okay.
next one.
Next one. Oath of office appointed to appoint Tamara Flanagan as our deputy town treasurer.
Motion.
Motion to
Second.
appoint Tammy, second from Jake,
Aye.
all in favor?
Aye.
It's all signed for Lucia.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate all these people for serving the town.
This is so that they can be on the bank account.
Signers, Christine, Tammy, and the five of us.
Hello, Vice Chairman.
Thank you.
Okay, this is Deb Parsons looking to be appointed to the Master Plan Steering Committee. We're always looking for volunteers. I will accept a motion to appoint Deb Parsons to the
Motion.
Master Plan Steering Committee.
And I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
My writing keeps getting worse, says I try to move faster. Okay.
It's Herbie Hancock. Ooh.
Oh, jeez. You playing a little trumpet over there?
Tommy Boy reference.
Holy, look at that writing. That hurts on that.
Oh, I know, the old photocopies of the,
Oh.
That's what mine looks like.
my dad's is so faded and so copied and so. Recommendation for approval from the assessor. Sorry, you guys have to print too.
Yes. Jeez.
We don't finish signing these in the next 5 minutes, I'm gonna wet myself.
You make a
Please don't.
thing to go.
It's today the 9th, the 10th, what is it, 9th?
So I really got 2 more, I think.
No, because then we look like we have non-public.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
know, but I
We have
figured
non-public.
between the two, I could, that's what I was waiting for, was the.
And this is volunteer for the rec department.
Can I give you up?
Where
Well,
are
I've
we already
drank
signed
2 of
these?
so.
We did, we,
Very kidding.
Force it out.
I was given to them. I was given them, so.
we had the, I think we already did these. These should already be on file.
What are they?
The,
Committee?
But anyway, you had written in the points about only asking the DPW before using town equipment and that
Did
the.
we already sign those and give them to Michael?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I thought we already did
You already
that.
did
Yeah, I
that.
signed them and gave them to Michael,
Okay.
because I signed those, because I was on the rec committee. And then I
Was
gave
it
them
for
to Michael.
Steve and Jonathan?
Yeah,
Yeah, we did that.
we did
a while
that.
ago.
Wow, several months ago.
Yeah.
And we all remembered.
Yeah.
I know.
Amazing.
That's amazing. You know we did if we all remember doing it. Okay. Your lease agreement. All right. Do you have any other signature items for us? Any other items?
Nope.
All right.
Motion
I-
to go into non-public, right?
Yes, you are going to a non-public
We are.
checkbox.
All right. Make a motion to enter non-public under RSA 91A3, Roman numeral 2E, consideration or negotiation of pending claims or litigation which has been threatened in writing or filed against a body or agency or any subdivision thereof, or against any member thereof because of his membership in any such body or agency until the claim or litigation has been fully adjudicated or otherwise settled. I'm so impressed I read adjudicated right. And also RSA 91A:3, Roman numeral 2C, matters which if discussed in public would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of the body or agency itself unless such person requests an open meeting. Roll call vote.
Jake.
Wait, the motion? Do I need a second?
Any second?
Second.
Yeah.
Roll call vote.
Nicole, I-
Joy, aye.
Aye.
Jake, I.
Joe, I.
All right, we're in non-public.